What is up, everybody, or shall I say good morning, everyone? I know it's unusual start time for Forbidden Podcast via FioriousNation on YouTube. 8 a.m. starting this podcast. An unusual from the usual 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. Start time. But welcome, everybody, to FioriousNation here on YouTube via Forbidden Podcast. We got episode 9 of Forbidden Podcast. It is Saturday morning, 8 a.m. of January 24th of 2026. I am one of the co-hosts, Nick Fiore of FioriousNation, and next to me on my left is my other co-host of Forbidden Podcast here on FioriousNation, Adam Carl. What is up, bro?
What's up, man? And there's a lot to talk about.
Oh,
There's so much to discuss.
On
Pretty
this
big
early
week.
8 a.m. morning, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots to talk about, man. The day before a big-ass snowstorm apparently hitting the U.S. here from south in Houston, moving up north. It's supposed to hit hard tomorrow, Sunday. It's supposed to get like 8 to 12 inches of snow at least all day Sunday and all day Sunday night. It's going to be brutal, man. Go ahead.
It's definitely affecting all different states of the country. New York and Texas, New Orleans.
Yeah, some people say they might lose power. Hopefully that's not where I live, but we'll see. I mean, a lot of people saying it's like 5 to 8, 8 to 12, 9 to 12. Could at least get like 2 to 3 feet of snow. It's probably gonna be brutal. So I expect it to be bad, but hopefully not that bad as people are making out to be. But we'll see, man. But those who are getting ready for this storm tomorrow, stock up all the groceries you can, get everything you need to get done before the storm. It's gonna be really bad tomorrow. I even was supposed to work tomorrow, but they closed tomorrow, so that's a good thing. So at least I get a day off tomorrow. But be a lot of shoveling though, most likely. But yeah, not a big fan of the winter. More of a summer guy, this guy here. But
yeah.
But anyways, hope you guys, for those of you who are not ready yet for the snowstorm, be ready for that. Stock up on groceries you can and just be safe and stuff like that. But we got a lot to talk about here on FioriousNation today for episode number 9. We got a lot to talk about regarding Tommaso Ciampa. He's apparently leaving WWE this March. His contract's up this March. Where he goes, Adam Carl and I will discuss where we think he goes. We're going to talk about some NXT stuff, Raw stuff as well. Updates on Chris Jericho, The Rock wrestling in Saudi for WrestleMania next year. Rock having talked with Saudi for WrestleMania involvement next year for WrestleMania 43 in a match, possibly. We also got talk on AEW as well. Trey Miguel apparently is released from AEW now back in TNA. We're gonna start with that in a little bit. We also got talk about Bruce Pritchard and Road Dogg's horrible creative and why they need to be fucking canned. So we're gonna talk about that. Also gonna talk about, and I know it's not in the description, but we're also going to talk about WrestleMania plans regarding Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. Apparently, Cody and Roman is scrapped, and apparently it's being reported that reportedly Triple H threw the Cody and Roman idea in the trash. Like, some thought Cody and Roman was the way to go for WrestleMania this year, but apparently it looks like Triple H threw that idea right in the bin and stuff. And it looks like it might be Cody and Drew at Mania. We'll talk about that, what we think. If that's gonna, what we think, if like we'll give our discussions and opinions and takes on all that. Plus, Sami Zayn was apparently originally tentatively planned for a world title match for this year's Mania. Where we think Sami Zayn's going for Mania this year, what his plans are, we'll talk about it. But before we begin, and before we begin with the Trey Miguel talk, we'll start with that. But right before we do that, please hit the like on the video here, and we got Xavier, Boston X official Xavier, in the chat. What's up, Xavier? Hope you're doing well, and thank you for tuning in on this Saturday morning. I know it's unusual for a start time for episode 9 today for Forbidden Podcast, but the reason starting 8 a.m. today is because of later tonight's 8 p.m. Saturday night's main event. And Adam Carl and I discussed, like, I think it would be kind of tough and not realistic to have our Forbidden podcast start tonight, 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. during the time slot of Saturday night's main event tonight. So we figured just today, 8 a.m., the 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. time slot will resume next week, a week from today, January 31st, hours after the Royal Rumble, and a week from today in Saudi. That episode will for episode 10 will most likely than not be like a Royal Rumble post-show discussion, kind of a talk, something like that, what we thought of the Rumble. So that's most likely what episode 10 next week is going to be. But 8 a.m. today, resume to 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. next week. So next week is back to the normal time slot. So, yeah, so hit the like. Oh, and Xavier, before we get all the little nice stuff, Boss Xavier says, I'm doing good. I got my show later today. Well, you're going to kill it today, and hope you're doing good as well. And I'm glad you're doing good, actually. And got your show later today. It's looking forward to it. And know you're going to do good. And we look forward to tuning in later on today. Then he says, Saturday night's main event is today. I just hope power doesn't go out today because of the storm. Yeah, it's going to be real bad tomorrow, so hope you're careful out there and be safe and stay warm. Stock up groceries, food, because roads are going to be closed. Snow is going to be shoveled. It's just every business is going to be closed tomorrow, so it's going to be really, really bad tomorrow. So be careful and safe out there, everybody, including you and Xavier. Then he says, so I can watch it. Xavier, from all of us to you and to everybody watching, please be safe tomorrow. It's just, safe with the snow. So that's what we'll say. But hit the like on the video. Subscribe to FioriousNation, especially if you're one of those people that is not yet subscribed already. Make sure you go subscribe to FioriousNation at 242 subscribers currently. Would love to hit the goal of 250 by the end of next month, which is after a week from today. So please hit the subscribe and turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you are notified whenever these two guys go live here on YouTube. So hit the like, subscribe to FioriousNation, and turn on the bell for all notifications. Go follow me on X, FioriNick579, Instagram, Nicholas Fiore 2014, and Facebook, Nicholas Fiore 31. You can add me as a friend on Facebook if you like. TikTok at FioriousNation. I know I don't use TikTok, though. I don't know. I might, and still is nothing is concrete at this time regarding TikTok. I know I don't use TikTok much. I know a lot of people do. I'm not one of them. I do have a TikTok account, but we'll see. So I may or may not post content on TikTok. I don't know. I'm still undecided this time. So we'll see regarding that. Follow Adam Carl on X, Adam Carl 2005, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff. And we got Mitch in the chat. What's up, Mitch? Just good morning, guys. Good morning, Mitch. I know it's a bit early for you, and but hope all is well. Hope you get ready for the storm tomorrow. So thinking about you guys for tomorrow's dreaded snowstorm. So they're saying it could be the worst snowstorm in years. I don't know if I believe that. I expect it to be bad, but not that bad. But we'll see. We'll see, man. So
hopefully everything turns out all right.
Yeah. So we're going to start first with this Trey Miguel situation. Apparently, it was Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, Desmond Xavier, former Wesley, and Myron Reed. All four members of the Rascals were signed to AEW last week. And let's be real, Tony Khan signed them just so NXT and WWE couldn't have them. Let's be real. So Tony Khan signs all four Rascals last week. And then earlier this week, we find out Trey Miguel is released from AEW because of a comment that he posted on social media like around a decade ago or something like that. But like, who cares? And I am assuming, and I would be a betting man, I wouldn't be surprised, because Tony Khan caters to the sickos and the idiots on Reddit and cagematch.net. Someone probably tried to ruin his career and went to Tony, and Tony saw this, and Tony Khan ended up firing Trey Miguel. And Trey Miguel's now no longer with AEW. Now, he did come back to TNA 2 nights ago on AMC. He's back in TNA. But someone tried to ruin Trey Miguel's career, apparently, because of what he said a long time ago. But who cares? That was then, this is now. It's almost similar to the Zachary Wentz, Nash Carter situation, if you remember. Now, Kimberly, the ex-wife of Zachary Wentz, tried to ruin Zachary Wentz's career in the spring of 2022, right after WrestleMania 38 in 2022, where the ex-wife Kimberly got Zachary Wentz fired from WWE and NXT, and MSK got obliterated and destroyed and broken because of Kimberly, because she's vindictive and wanted revenge on her ex-husband, Zachary Wentz. And then Zachary Wentz got hired again by TNA, and then Kimberly quit like a loser, and Kimberly wanted revenge on Zachary Wentz because Zachary Wentz left her, and Kimberly wanted revenge and just to get back at her ex-husband and try and ruin his career, get him fired because of like a Hitler comment Nash Carter or Zachary Wentz made a long time ago, but that was like several years ago. Like, who gives a shit? So that's what happened with Zachary Wentz, and now then he got rehired by TNA, and Kimberly quit like a loser. So you see where Zachary Wentz is here, Kimberly is here. So that's just, so Zachary Wentz, his career almost got ruined, but thankfully it didn't. And then now with Trey Miguel, someone looks like an AEW sicko tried to ruin Trey Miguel's career because they probably don't like him for whatever reason. And Trey Miguel got fired from AEW, and now he's right back in TNA. Now he got 3/4 of Rascals in AEW instead of 4. So, and also reading the recent updates on Trey Miguel, it was said that the release of Trey Miguel from AEW came from above. Let's be real, it's Tony Khan. He's the end-all be-all. He makes all the decisions.
He's the fucking owner.
Yeah, it's Tony. Don't let anyone bullshit you. It's Tony Khan. The quote-unquote came from above. Yeah, that bullshit. It's Tony Khan. Let's be honest here. It was Tony Khan. Because he makes all the decisions, and the creative is Tony. You know, the end all be all the decisions in AEW company as a whole is Tony Khan. But it came from above, sure. It came from Tony Khan and nobody else. And then it was said reportedly that Trey Miguel it was a mental health thing. He wanted to take a break from wrestling. Yet he returned on TNA 2 nights ago. And I actually have a recent tweet of Trey Miguel. It's I can find it. It's right here. He tweeted something out about almost a day ago. I can pull it up. It says this. So this is the tweet from 21 hours ago from Trey Miguel on X. It says, I plan to step away from wrestling after the week I went through. It was really hard on me mentally and emotionally. I didn't think I could do it anymore. Thank you to everyone who had my back, especially at TNA. This was hard not to quit, but we cannot give up. Thank you, God. That's a recent tweet from Trey Miguel. And like I said, Trey Miguel returned back to TNA 2 nights ago on Thursday night, the second TNA on AMC. So now with Trey Miguel back in TNA, he's by himself. If you remember Wes Lee, when he got screwed over because of Kimberly getting Nash Carter fired in 2022, then Wes Lee was on his own, and the WWE had to scramble to what to do with Wes Lee because of Kimberly getting Nash Carter fired 4 years ago. And then Wes Lee was in limbo, and then eventually, it took a while because of Kimberly fucking MSK over in 2022 in NXT. Then Wes Lee's in limbo, and then eventually they find something for him as a single star. And Wesley was North American champion. He was probably one of the good North American champions in the history of that title, and he was actually doing really good as a single star. I'm hoping the same for Trey Miguel, but in TNA. So, I want to get your take on this, Adam Carl. But it's like, because I think Trey Miguel honestly got fucked over, but probably is for the better, because I mean, mental health. Yeah, AEW causes mental health problems, so I'm hoping for the best for Trey Miguel. Hopefully he does fine on his own. I mean, X Division title would probably be nice, but I feel bad for Trey Miguel. But it just goes to show you that AEW's priorities are all fucked up with Tony Khan catering to the sickos. If he didn't cater to the AEW sickos, his product would be much better off. But Adam Carl, what's your take on this whole Trey Miguel situation?
I think it's really screwed up for him. I mean, I'm going to start off with the mental health thing first. You know, you cannot weaponize mental health.
No.
You cannot take that as a joke. And according to Trey himself, he's had mental health issues for years. I don't think it was, an AEW thing. He's had mental health issues for years. I think last year he spent a good portion of that having battling depression. And and one of the reasons he didn't go to NXT, a couple of years ago with Desmond and Zach, is because he had the depression as well, and as well as his nephew. So he had to and he didn't want to uproot his family to Florida, and he had to take care of them. So I don't think so. It's not just this one incident that caused it. He's been battling them for years. Do I think it affected him mentally that he was fired by Tony? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine, as a guy, you're working hard, you're having some of your best career runs outside of WWE and AEW, you get picked up by one of them, and then you get fucked over. You're not even given a chance.
Yeah, just because of what he said years ago, this is the thing. People can say something and at the end of the day, we're all human. People could say something really stupid from years ago, but those people from years ago are not the same people now. Trey Miguel back then, even if he did something wrong back then, is not the same Trey Miguel now. So just because what he said years ago, he's the same person now, like, who cares what he said years ago? I don't care what he did. Like, why should anyone care about that? Why should anyone care about that? I don't.
It's none of my business. What I'm hearing from people that have met him and have interacted with him, he seems like a good guy. Yeah.
I don't give a shit what he said years ago. That's absolutely none of my business or your business or anyone's business. No one should be caring about that. But people these days, it's like they need to know everyone's business, and it's fucking sickening.
They're so soft.
Yeah, people are soft and fucking snowflakes. It's like, oh, fuck this guy. He said this. Oh, he said that. I can't believe he said that. Seriously, who cares? Who cares? I mean, unless he lives in the same neighborhood as you, shut your fucking mouth. Seriously. It should be of no one's concern what he said years ago. It's none of your business whatsoever. And like I said, people at the end of the day are human. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect, and that's fine. That's fine. And just because, even if he said something, and even if he did say something bad years ago, if you really think he's the same person now from years ago, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I don't, and I believe you when you say that, Trey Miguel's probably a nice guy in real life. I believe that.
Yeah.
People
change.
Exactly.
People
not just wrestling. And it's not just wrestling, even like from grade school days, high school days, middle school days. Just like if someone is immature years ago, they're not the same person now, especially if they become like a parent or something. People change over time. That's just part of life. Same thing with wrestling. They could be really young and not know any better, but they can grow up and mature over time. So, and like the Zachary Wentz Nash Carter situation, he made a comment about with some Hitler comment. I mean,
he did the salute, the Nazi salute.
Yeah, the Nazi suit. Like, who cares? Even if he did that years ago, like, it's irrelevant now. Who cares? Like, the
Even
past is
then,
the
I will say
past.
he shouldn't have been fired
Yeah,
from WWE.
like,
Should have been given the benefit of the doubt.
absolutely. But Kimberly's the reason that he got let go. They didn't want the WWE didn't want to let him go, but Kimberly tried fucking him over because she wanted payback on him because he ditched her and chose someone else in Gigi Dolan over her, and Kimberly couldn't fucking stand it, and she wanted payback on him so bad because she's so vindictive. And fuck Kimberly, by the way. It's a shame because MSK, Nash, Carter, and Wesley, they just won that. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was WrestleMania. I think it was Stand and Deliver WrestleMania 38 weekend in Dallas. They just won the NXT Tag Team titles, which that Stand and Deliver in Dallas. I was there. When that happened. And a few days after they just win the titles, then Nash Carter gets fired just wrongfully, and he should never have been fired. And now he's in AEW. I don't think they're going to go much of anywhere as the Rascals in AEW. I doubt it. I don't trust Tony Khan with them whatsoever. I mean, they could be what helps the tag division there, but do you trust Tony Khan? Because I don't. I honestly think they should have went to NXT, the Rascals, especially a tag division down there that needs tag teams. Just look who they have.
Apparently, from what I heard, they have wanted to go to AEW for a while. Zach, from what I also hear, Zach and Myron, they were at least open to staying with TNA, but TNA they were too late to offer them a new contract. Yeah.
And TNA and their they have a hard time trying to retain talent because I'm sure it's like their marketing department is not strong at all, and it's like they're probably that broke and shit, and that's probably most likely the reason why they can't retain a lot of wrestlers these days, including the Rascals.
Yeah. So with the whole Trey Miguel thing as well, it's very screwed up. I mean, why can't he and Zach? I mean, I'm not advocating for Zachary Wentz to get fired. I mean, I don't want him to get fired. I mean, I think he can do something for AEW, maybe tag division, the trios division, maybe an international title scene. But in terms with Tony, he's very pick and choose.
Yeah,
he's just very pick and choose, and it's so wrong. Like if we're firing Trey Miguel for things that he said years ago, then by that logic, should Zachary get fired? Like, no.
Yeah. I mean, according to the sickos, probably, but no.
Just look at Hangman, for example. Just I think on Wednesday, he just took a picture with Marty Scurll.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've watched him live in Ring of Honor like 2018-ish, but with the speaking out movement, apparently it looks like his name was one of them. But yeah, long story. But I don't like to talk about that.
Long story. We're not gonna review what he did here, but he did something heinous. He's been exiled pretty much from the business. Tony doesn't even want him in AEW.
And rightfully.
Yet last night, on Wednesday, Hangman took a picture with Marty just before Dynamite. Should we fire Hangman by that logic? No.
It's fucked up, dude. It's all fucked up.
And now, I'm not advocating for anyone to lose their job, but then you have people over there in AEW that are, now I won't call them evil, because it hasn't been confirmed if they did heinous things or not. But see, like, look, for example, like a Darby, for example. I like Darby, but he's not exactly the kindest guy because he's been accused of some things. I mean, he's been cleared at all. I'm not sure if he did those things. I mean, hopefully not. But he's accused of some things, and yet he's on television. I mean, I don't want him fired, but you're picking and choosing to keep guys on TV and not. Yeah,
the priorities are all fucked up, bro. They really are.
Sammy Guevara. I mean, again, I know he's a father. I'm sure he's matured, and obviously he's a father. He and Ty are parents to Luna, their daughter. But before that, 6 years ago, he said, well, I'm not gonna say the word here,
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So
he said he wanted to do some stuff with Mercedes Moné.
Yeah,
Like, what's your
then they have Sammy Guevara on Ring of Honor, irrelevant show because of Mercedes.
Yeah,
all
but he's also
bullshit.
there. I mean, that doesn't mean I want him fired. But you're gonna pick him, but you're not gonna give Trey Miguel the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and I
Or
kind of
Don
want to bring
Callis. He's leading the Don Callis family.
Yeah, and I actually want to read this comment. It kind of links with, and Xavier says this is the same thing that happened to MSK. Someone brought up old shit, and Zachary once got fired. This is the same thing. I agree, Xavier, 100%. 100%. I agree with you, man. With that take, it's like there's a saying: you gotta put the past behind. Like that was then, this is now. What happened in the past, you gotta let that shit go. Like, it's so unhealthy to live in the past. You can't cling on to the past, like, and hold a grudge like that. And what happened back then is old news and irrelevant news. That doesn't, what happened in the past doesn't matter now anymore. What happens is in the now and looking towards into the future. That's what happens. You have to put the past behind, just because even if Trey Miguel, and I'll include Zachary once in this, even if what they said years ago was bad, and if it was indeed fucked up, what they did and said was wrong, even if that was the case years ago, why should that matter now? Let me tell you something. It doesn't. What happened back then is irrelevant compared to now's relevant. You got to put the past behind and let what happened back then go and look forward towards the now and move on from the past. It's so fucking unhealthy and not normal to live in the past and holding a grudge like that. It's just like, and I'm sure Trey Miguel and including Zachary Wentz are nice people, both not just Trey Miguel, Nash Carter / Zachary Wentz as well. And I don't care what
Zachary tweeted at TNA.
I don't care what they did. Like, I don't care what they did in the past. Like, that shouldn't matter. What should matter is what happens now. And now, I don't think they're bad at all. That's what should matter, not the past. So, you mentioned them on TNA or something, right? That I think, yeah, but that's just my overall take on that. I mean, it's just Trey Miguel. It's just, my point is, like, what happened years ago, Trey Miguel shouldn't be it shouldn't be what you think of Trey Miguel now and what you solidify him as today. What he was back then is not the Trey Miguel today. You gotta bury that. What happened in the past, you gotta bury that shit, man.
You just bury the hatchet.
Yeah. Let bygones be bygones, move on. Yeah,
like, I mean, and I know, and I mean, I think what makes it worse is, well, just last week, you had the Collision. They take Collision after Dynamite. The Rascals obviously made their debut. Trey Miguel was supposed to be a part of that segment, but he was pulled.
Mm-hmm.
I assume the Rascals were gonna make their debut on Collision tonight. I assume their first match in AEW, but obviously, travel issues has gone down there because the episode on Collision was supposed to be in Arlington,
Texas, but because of the snowstorm.
Yeah. So I assume they're gonna postpone their debut the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. So obviously, bad timing, but they should pick up.
Yeah.
But so it's like Trey should be there, honestly. I mean, he should still be under AEW contract. And again, with the picking and choosing, and I'm not wishing anyone to get fired, but if you're keeping those other people that I mentioned earlier, then Trey should also be kept. It's just embarrassing. Like, it's like you're giving in. That's basically what Tony's doing. He should be sticking up for the guy, but because he doesn't want to get heat with his sickle fan base,
he just gives in. The fan base that he caters to, which, by the way, that fan base doesn't help his product. It brings down his product. The sickos and the idiots and the virgins on Cage Match and Reddit and the cesspool known as social media. Those are the people,
you should not be
unfortunately, that Tony
listening to.
Khan caters to. And if he didn't cater to those kinds of fucking people, his product would be so much better off.
Exactly.
You know, the AEW sickos who it's like, oh, support AEW. AEW saved my life. Oh, I'm all elite. Oh, AEW's we're the best wrestle. AEW's number one. AEW's the best.
I mean, I get being a fan of a company, but come on.
But to like wave a flag and say you're pro AEW, like you're just defending them every time, like you're a sicko at that point. Come on. I like AEW as well, but I'm not a sicko.
Yeah.
And neither is this guy.
You gotta do better than that.
Yeah. AEW right now is bad. And you can be an AEW fan and admit that, and that's okay. At the end of the day, we just want what's better for AEW. Right now, they're not good. And we complain about AEW and also with WWE as well. It's like we complain because, mostly with AEW, we complain because we care. If we didn't care, we wouldn't have said anything. And of course, you'll get people, oh, why do you complain so much? If you don't like it, why don't you just stop watching it? Like, how many of you are fans of, like, the New York Giants, the New York Yankees, the Buffalo Bills? They suck every single year. But at some point, sooner or later, they're going to be good again.
And we crapped on TNA last week. Does that mean we hate TNA? No.
We just want good. We don't want bad or mediocre. Last week's TNA was mediocre. TNA 2 nights ago was much better than last week. I don't know where this TNA was a week ago. Even Genesis was better than TNA last week. The Genesis pay-per-view for TNA last Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's like, and like I said, like New York Giants, New York Buffalo Bills, and New York Yankees, at some point, we use this as an analogy example, at some point they'll be good again. If we stop watching when they're better again, we'd miss out when we want to see them and witness it happen when they are better again. Same thing with WWE and AEW, especially AEW, especially with all that. You know, if we stop watching and when they're good again, why would we miss out on that and stop watching before, you know, they're good again? You know, we want to be there to witness it happen. That's a true fan right there, you know? So those who say, oh, don't like it, don't watch it. I mean, what would you rather someone do? Be very dishonest and be fake? Or would you rather someone actually tell it like it is and not sugarcoat and not
we saw the Vince
how we
McMahon
feel
era
about
for
stuff?
crying out loud. We know how bad that was.
How bad, yeah. How bad that was, yeah. Because last week's TNA was a fucking disaster. It was terrible.
Yes. Yeah, and also with the whole people, you know, coming up with these accusations that, you know, Trey Miguel was fired because he used to date MJF's girlfriend. Like, please.
Yeah, that's another thing. Alicia Toot, which is the girlfriend of MJF, and then rumors going around that, you know, MJF was the reason Trey Miguel got fired. I hope that's not true. It would say a lot about MJF.
Cut the crap, please. MJF is the biggest star in the company right now. He's like their face of the company. Why would he give a shit about? Let's be real here. Even if Trey Miguel had stayed, what was he gonna be? He was gonna be a mid-card guy at best. He was gonna be trios guy at best. Why should a main eventer give a shit about what some trios guy he's gonna do, or that he used to date his current wife? Let me tell you something. MJF did not know who the hell Alicia 2 was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And another thing, Zachary Wentz he's dating Priscilla Kelly, right?
Yes.
I'm not hearing any news of Darby wanting to get Zachary Wentz fired.
Yeah, you don't see that shit.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear that, but you don't.
People date other people. People move on to others.
Yes, at the end of the day, people, we are all human. We make mistakes.
Yeah.
We acknowledge them.
And who else? Who's another example?
We move on.
Who's another example? Murphy. Yeah, he used to date Bliss, right?
Buddy Murphy or Buddy Matthews now and Alexa Bliss. Yes.
Yeah. He's dating Buddy, not Buddy, but he's not dating himself. He's dating Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley not to be in a relationship with him because he was in a relationship with someone else?
And Buddy and Rhea are about to get married as well.
Yeah. Like, who else? Like Dolph Ziggler was also in a relationship with Nikki Bella, right?
Yeah. Now, some people have told me that, Dolph Ziggler got buried because of John Cena and Nikki Bella and shit like that.
Please, Dolph Ziggler and Cena are best friends.
Like people have told, a couple people have come up to me personally and have actually said to me that Ziggler, the reason he wasn't bigger was because John Cena politics and he was fucking Nikki Bella and the politics of Cena. I don't believe that at all.
Please cut the crap.
I don't.
I never heard any news of Cena trying to get Ziggler fired
or try to bury Ziggler.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
No, Ziggler got buried not because of Nikki Bella, but because of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that's the guy who buried him, not Cena.
Cena's just told what to do by Vince.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
So here is the bottom line. No, a main eventer doesn't care what a lower guy does. People date other people. MJF did not get Trey Miguel fired. As a matter of fact, MJF is best friends with Zachary Wentz. Okay, he used to be roommates with the guy, and he was one of the guys that defended him when he was fired from NXT. So why would he risk his friendship with him by getting one of his tag partners fired?
It doesn't make sense.
As far as I'm concerned, from what I'm hearing, it was MJF that vouched for the Rascals to get hired to AEW.
Yeah. Again, it's probably some bullshit some AEW sicko probably found online to try and frame Trey Miguel. And Trey Miguel ended up getting fired.
It's not someone from the AEW roster. It wasn't somebody from outside AEW, no. It's Tony Khan. He's the one who fired the guy.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Tony Khan is the be-all, end-all with the final say in every decision regarding AEW as far as AEW is concerned. He makes all the big decisions. He makes every single decision within that company. Nobody else but Tony. The end-all, be-all is Tony Khan.
Yeah, so he's catering to a fan base that he should not be catering to for hurting his product. If he did not cater to those people, AEW television would be much better. And they should be better.
Just listening to the marks and other marks like Will Washington, who's a yes man, and RJ City.
And Meltzer.
And Meltzer. Yep, Dave Meltzer.
These guys who he should be cutting off.
Meltzer and Alvarez, and especially Meltzer, who just does the match star ratings, and Tony Khan and AEW are more concerned about Dave Meltzer rating their matches instead of, putting on story. Instead, they're more concerned about Meltzer. Like, does Meltzer give us a 4 or 5 star match? Which doesn't do anything. Like, if you're worrying about some clown and Dave Meltzer, if you're about him rating your match, if you're more concerned about that than putting on the best product possible with some story and reason for people to watch week in and week out, you're more concerned about that than helping your product, then you are not doing what's right for your company. Then you are not running a real company at all. Then you're running a pretend company at that point. And that's all AEW is. They're a pretend company. I hate to say, and I like AEW, but it's true. Tony Khan doesn't run he doesn't run a company like he's serious about running a company. It's like a vanity project for him. It's like an EFED kind of a thing. That's all it is. He doesn't take running AEW seriously. If he did, he wouldn't be listening to fucking Meltzer and Alvarez and Alba, and who's a paid AEW show, and so is Sean Ross Sapp as well.
The sad part is that Sean Ross Sapp is probably the best out of these idiots.
Yeah. Even and even
he can be reliable, but he can be narcissist at times.
Yeah, I respect Sean Ross Sapp and his work with Fightful, and they're pretty reliable when it comes to WWE and AEW, TNA news and rumors, and I give that guy a lot of credit.
I'd say the same thing with
his work. I mean, he's good at what he does, but at the same time, he can be arrogant at times.
Yeah. So with Tony, I mean, he's like Vince McMahon in terms of he's very insecure.
Yes,
he's very wishy-washy,
and he books for himself too.
Yeah. And this is a similar thing. And now, I mean, it's different situations, and it's not Zachary Wentz didn't say anything not bad. He just did an act he shouldn't have done. But it's like, this is a similar thing to Zachary in terms of, he just wasn't given the benefit of the doubt. Just wasn't given a chance to show that he actually improved as a human being. They just let him go without giving him a chance.
They didn't even give him they didn't even give him a chance at all. They just let him go like that.
Yeah, and the same thing here with Trey Miguel. You just let the guy walk without giving the guy a chance. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I feel bad for Trey Miguel in that situation, man. I do.
I mean, at least I'm glad that, there are some people, like the Rascals, and apparently and I think Samoa Joe, he made a reference to the situation, showing support to Trey.
Yeah.
I think he tweeted something, about, people change through their actions.
Yeah.
Showing his support to Trey Miguel.
I just hope with the Rascals and Samoa Joe supporting Trey Miguel and Tony Khan and AEW letting Trey Miguel go, and Trey Miguel now with TNA, which is partnered with WWE, I just hope that Samoa Joe and the three and Zachary Wentz, Myron Reed, and Desmond Xavier, and then Samoa Joe, I hope they don't get buried by Tony Khan out of pettiness because they supported Trey Miguel, who got fired.
Apparently, it's not just them. There are several. I think, according to Sean Ross Sapp, and I can actually believe that it's true. There are people on that AEW roster that were furious that Trey was fired because they have a good relationship with him, and they have a good relationship with the Rascals.
How much do you want to bet Tony Khan probably tries to bury them out of pettiness because they supported Trey Miguel?
Yeah, I mean, if it's one of them is Joe, then please. Joe's not going to get buried by anybody. It's Samoa Joe.
I hope not, but it would be petty of Tony Khan, which he can be.
But if you got an entire roster basically showing their support to one guy who they are a good relationship with, Tony's not going to bury them.
Hopefully not, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did, though, because he can be that petty.
I mean, he can be petty, but you got a whole roster basically standing against you. Come on. Especially
if he buries them because of them supporting Trey Miguel, that's a bad look on Tony.
Yeah. Especially when one of the guy who is friends with one of the Rascals happens to be his face of the company and the world champion currently.
Yeah. Was recently the world champion was Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Samoa Joe. Now the current champion is MJF, who's best friends with Zach Wentz. And he has a good relationship with all members of the Rascals.
Yeah.
He's not going to bury him.
Yeah, hopefully not. But I wish Trey Miguel.
As far as the situation, as sad as it is, I mean, well, I hope we see the Rascals next week on TV. They get the debut they were supposed to get. Had their travel issues not happened now. But as sad as the Trey Miguel situation is, it's kind of the best thing for him.
Yeah.
I think he's more suited for TNA and WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, situation sucks. He should not have been fired, but TNA needs stars right now.
Yeah. No shit on that.
Yeah. And we're going to talk more about TNA in a few moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for Trey, this is his opportunity to show, to prove Tony wrong, obviously, and obviously to show that he can be a top singles guy.
Yeah. Just look at
just there at TNA this week on an Impact again in the Feast or Fired match.
Yes, Feast or Fired. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but all I will say is this before we move on to the TNA stuff for a little bit. I wish Trey Miguel nothing but the best here, and I hope he does well for himself and he's going to be on his own. I mean, Wesley was in limbo for a little bit when he was a singles guy in NXT throughout late 2022, from the spring of 2022 towards the end of 2022. But then he eventually found his footing. He was North American champion. He was a really good NXT North American champion, and he killed it as a singles guy. I'm hoping the same exact thing here for Trey Miguel, and he's a very good wrestler.
He's a good wrestler and a good dude, and as well. And let's be real, from these reports, Zach and Wes, they may have wanted to be in AEW for a while, and Tony wanted Myron Reed. So I'm sure he probably wanted Myron Reed out of all the Rascals, and Zach and Des wanted to go to AEW. I'm not sure how much Trey wanted to go there. I'm not sure how much. I mean, as sad as the situation is, it sucks for Trey that he got let go. How much you bet Tony didn't want him? How much did he want to go to AEW, and how much of it did Tony really want the guy?
Well, let's be honest here, bro. The only reason Tony Khan signed the Rascals really in the first place was to keep him away from WWE. That's all it was, because Tony Khan can't help himself. He brings in talent left and right, and he can't stop. It's nonstop bringing in talent. And you wonder why Hobbs left, and Anna Jay's contract is up in March, and that won't be the last. You wonder if Chris Jericho's coming back soon to WWE, which I think will be at the Royal Rumble. Like, the more talent Tony Khan brings in, and it's not going to stop, the more talent Tony Khan brings in, the more AEW
More
originals
people get pushed down the card.
Exactly. Yeah. The more original people on the AEW roster, more of them get pushed down the card, like Will Hobbs, Wardlow, etc., etc. Private Party, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, etc. Jamie Hayter as well.
Yeah.
You know, this is the last thing Tony Khan needs, is to sign more talent. What he doesn't need any more talent. What he needs is better writing. That's what Tony needs.
Yeah, hire better creative
in the Rascals is not going to solve problems.
Yeah, hire better creative people than fucking Will Washington.
Yeah, who's nothing but a glorified fucking Tony Khan yes man, who does nothing but tell Tony yes. He doesn't tell Tony no. And you wonder why AEW's in the shithole it is right now.
Yeah, as far as Trey, you know, if you've seen his other tweets, he was promoting the debut of the AMC show.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And then AEW.
So did he really want to go? Did he really want to leave TNA to begin with?
I doubt it. I honestly doubt it, man.
Yeah, did he only go to AEW because his friends were going there and wanted to go there, and he just felt like, you know, he needed to go there?
I don't know, man. But
I mean, it's believable. I mean, based on how he quickly came back to TNA.
Yeah, but I will say this to conclude the Trey Miguel talk. I do wish Trey Miguel nothing but the best, and I hope he does well for himself on his own. I mean, it sucks that he's not with his friends, the Rascals, and I hope the Rascals do fun in AEW. I don't trust AEW with the Rascals whatsoever. I hope the decision was worth it, and I don't see the Rascals going anywhere in AEW, especially with Tony Khan running the show. But I do wish Trey Miguel all the luck in the world. Hopefully he does okay for himself as a singles guy.
He will.
If Wesley can do it, if Wesley / Desmond Xavier can do it, I'm sure Trey Miguel could do the same thing as well. I think X Division would be nice and stuff for Trey Miguel for a start. But at the end of the day, man, all in all, I wish Trey Miguel nothing but the best.
I wish all guys the best. I mean, they should be, you know, in a higher position in both companies. I mean, Tony, though, the Rascals can be 50-50 in AEW, if they're booked right. I mean, they should be.
Yeah.
I mean, with Tony, though, with how much of a big roster he has, he does that, half of which he doesn't even know what to do with.
75%.
I may be concerned for these guys. I think Myron Reed and Zach Woods are like the younger guys.
Yeah.
I think Myron is the youngest. If I could, in terms of a push, if they get booked right, I think Myron Reed will be the star of the group, and maybe Zach and Des could be the team.
Maybe
that's if you book them right. With Trey Miguel, I think he'll be successful too in TNA. I could see him maybe as a world champion. At a time where they could use some new stars.
You'll see, man. He could probably be like a big fish. He could probably be like a big fish in a small pond in TNA.
And you never know. Maybe he appears on NXT with this partnership.
Yeah, he's appeared on NXT before 2 years ago.
Yeah,
we'll see.
So it's unfortunate. Yeah, so it's an unfortunate situation, but it may have been the best thing for Trey Miguel.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
I mean, Tony's petty.
Yeah,
but it's probably the best thing for Trey, and he's not in AEW. And TNA needs more stars anyway, so they can use guys like him.
Yeah.
And again, even if he did something stupid.
Yeah, go ahead.
And even if he said something stupid, you should let it go. People change. People deserve second chance. Unless you've done something truly evil, then you don't deserve a second chance. But most people deserve a second chance.
And what Trey Miguel did wasn't evil. I think he should have been given a chance in AEW, but I still would have been lost in the shuffle there regardless, but still, never even gave the guy a chance. At
least give him a chance to fail. Even if it doesn't work out, at least he tries.
I like to pass or fail, but that's all up to Tony Khan. That's all in the booking.
Yeah.
But
so that's my thoughts on the situation.
As long as Trey Miguel is happy, I mean, at the end of the day, I just want the man to be happy what he's doing.
Yeah, so physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm sure.
Exactly.
I'm sure. Again, the fire, I'm sure it took a toll on him mentally, but he recovered, and I'm glad he did.
Yep.
So I wish him nothing.
And it says a lot.
This is his passion.
It says a lot about Trey Miguel.
Yeah. So this is also a passion. It's not just for wrestling. They're not there for a paycheck. They want to wrestle. They want to work. So I'm glad he got work quickly.
Yeah. It's less pay with TNA compared to AEW, but he chose to bet on himself.
Yeah.
And I got to respect that, man.
Yeah.
Anyone who decides to bet on himself, and it's not easy to bet on yourself and make yourself into a big deal. I mean, mad respect for that.
Yeah, mad respect. And I'm sure his boys are supporting him.
Absolutely.
If you've seen his messages, he's supporting them and they're supporting him. So it's nice, that they're still best friends, even if they work for different companies.
Yeah. And the fact that Tony Khan doesn't use 75% of his roster, I mean, Trey Miguel wouldn't have stood a chance there regardless anyways. But but Trey Miguel, just have him go out there, he goes out to TNA on his own, make Tony Khan look like an idiot for letting him go.
Yeah.
X Division title, like I said, for a start. Maybe a world champion down the line. I don't know, but we'll see. All I will say to conclude the Trey Miguel talk is this. Trey Miguel is going to kill it as a singles guy. And him and Desmond Xavier, one of his friends, and I'm sure him and the Rascals, Trey Miguel and the Rascals talk. And
they talk. They're friends.
Yeah. And when Trey Miguel succeeds on his own in TNA, the Rascals will be definitely some of those people smiling proud. So, and I respect, I respect those that bet on themselves, make those that let you go regret letting you go.
Yeah, make them regret not giving you a chance in the first place.
Exactly. So I wish Trey Miguel all the luck in the world. I'm sure he'll be okay, and he will be okay. I wish him luck.
It's not the worst thing to be fired. It's not the worst thing to be let go. What matters is that how you make the most of it. You prove people wrong.
Exactly. And his release from AEW, though it sucks, it may be a blessing for Trey Miguel. And everything happens in life for a reason. So it's terrible that he's gone from AEW and he was never given a chance, but him gone from AEW is probably 9 times out of 10 the best thing to ever happen to Trey Miguel. So is what I will say. Everything happens for a reason, and this had to have been a blessing for Trey Miguel. So I wish him all the luck in the world. He's gonna do well for a singles guy act in TNA. So then moving on, speaking of TNA, we move on to TNA. Now, it's not in the description. Now, and I'm just letting you know, after the AMC premiere disaster last week on TNA, first ever TNA on AMC last week, no, we won't be talking much about TNA here on the channel unless something big happens or something, or big episode or show happens. But other than that, not much TNA talk on here, bro.
But there's one thing I want to talk here. And this happened right after their show on Thursday. We go from talking positively about Trey Miguel.
LOL.
They do something good here, but then they turn around and, as usual, LOL TNA.
Yep.
After the show on Thursday, I think this was after the main event segment with the system. Yes, that's a faction TNA. They used to be of Moose, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, Johnny Curtis, Fandango, and Alicia Edwards,
who's retired, by the way, is Johnny Curtis.
Yeah, Johnny Curtis, he just retired. They booked this angle to introduce new members of the system. One of the new members was Bear Bronson,
who used to be which Bear Bronson used to be in AEW. Yeah, and Bear Bronson used to be in AEW. Now he's in TNA. Johnny Curtis recently retired from wrestling. So Johnny Curtis retires, or Fandango, whatever we call him, or Dirty Dango, retires. So he's no longer wrestling. Bear Bronson is there. He had Cedric Alexander and Bear Bronson in the system. They replaced Johnny Curtis in there and Moose. So let me get this straight. Moose and Johnny Curtis were good for the system. Now you turn around and replace them with Cedric Alexander and Bear Bronson. Now, I like Cedric Alexander. I can understand him, but Bear Bronson? Compared with Moose? Come on. Like Adam Carl said, LOL TNA. LOL TNA with the system revamping with that system group in TNA. And then as well as TNA's production, man. Holy shit, TNA's production fucking sucks. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. TNA could absolutely use camera production lessons from WWE on how to do production properly. Because, oh my God, TNA's production is absolutely fucking abysmal. Abysmal. I do better production than TNA.
Oh my God. Yeah. So they aired. I know we discussed the faction segment with the system. I mean, Bear Bronson, I might give him a chance because, you know, he was fucked over by his tag partner and his disgusting acts.
Oh yeah. He
was fucked over. You know, I'm not gonna. This is not the LOL TNA moment. This is not that kind of an LOL TNA moment as the next one, because he was really fucked over. So I may have to give him a chance. Essentially, it's going to cost him pretty much his job in AEW. Mm-hmm. And Tony, you know, he let him walk first, and then Bear Bronson was like a month later. With Cedric, you know, he could fit the system.
He can.
You know, he could be, you know, a major player, and he's done well for himself so far in TNA. Then you have the production error, you know, after they did the Feast or Fired match. After the show, there is legitimate audio of next week's show that they are taping, and you could literally visibly hear the plans that they have for their next pay-per-view and who is having the world title shot in one of the Feast or Fired cases. And they're laying out the plans. They're laying out months of planning, months of television. This audio, and an audio that nobody's supposed to hear.
You have got to be fucking shitting me, dude.
And by the time they realized that the damage was already done.
You would never, ever, ever, ever see WWE do this kind of shit. Imagine if they did something like that.
Can you imagine if Seth Rollins won Money in the Bank? Can you imagine and then after the night of Money in the Bank, there is audio of Vince McMahon and the creative people laying out plans and revealing when and how Seth is gonna cash in and win the championship?
You'd never see that, bro.
Or never. Can you imagine if who else won Money in the Bank? Randy Orton, for example. Can you imagine the night after during a Raw taping and in an audio that we're not supposed to hear, Vince McMahon is basically spoiling what he will do with Orton, how he will cash in, how he will win the WWE Championship?
You never see that shit, bro.
It's like, no, Vince McMahon, his head would fucking explode if somebody botched in the production truck and spoiled plans that were not supposed to be spoiled.
Yeah, Vince back in the day would be fucking absolutely furious and blowing a gasket.
Yeah.
He would be not a happy camper at all. He'd choose someone right up and fire him on the fucking spot.
Yeah, this would never happen under Vince McMahon. This would never happen under Triple H.
Nope. It's fucking.
They know how to run fucking production.
If anything, TNA should be lending. If anything, TNA should be having lessons from WWE how to do production properly. Rent a camera, some filming production equipment, Better yet, get lessons from WWE and take notes from WWE on how to do production the right way. Because WWE, when it comes to production, nails it every time perfectly. When it comes to production, they know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah. You know? Something that TNA is very piss poor at is production. The WWE just nails it every single time. When it comes to production, when WWE does production every single time, it's perfect. When it comes to production, they nail it perfect every single time they have. TNA could learn something like that. If anything, they could use lessons and stuff and tips from WWE how to do production the proper and right way. Because the TNA production right now fucking sucks. It does. Like it feels like filming from the 80s and the 90s. We're not in the 80s and 90s anymore. Like, update with the technology times now in 2026. Like, come on. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing.
That was embarrassing. That was pathetic.
Like, it feels like fucking amateur hour over there. It really does. It's awful.
Yeah, whoever's running TNA production, whoever's running the production truck, they should be fired immediately.
Yep. Because they're just nothing but a bunch of blithering idiots who don't know how to do their job. I can do their job better than them, and I don't work for them.
I have better production than them, and I don't even run anything.
Yeah.
Give us the fucking job. I will do it better than whoever's clearly running the production trucks.
Yeah.
We will at least we won't be botching.
Yeah. Whoever they got in TNA production is absolutely, and I mean absolutely, fucking clueless. Clueless.
Yeah, they need better people. They need to hire someone that knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yep. I don't know. It's laughable.
Yeah.
It's laughable.
Yeah.
LOL
Yeah.
TNA.
LOL TNA, literally. And I thought last week the premiere of AMC was awful.
They with Perez, Elton.
I thought showing the empty seats in the arena was terrible.
They had Perez Hilton there as well.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was bad. This is probably worse.
Yeah. And the second TNA at AMC was better than the first one, but it's like when they do something right, they go several steps backwards.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It's literally a joke. It's really a fucking joke, man. It's just they go 36 steps backwards every time they do something right. 6 steps good, 36 steps backwards. It's awful. It's awful. So like I said, we won't be talking much TNA here on the Weekly Forbidden podcast. So unless there's something big happening, then we won't talk much TNA on here. Just letting you guys know.
Yeah.
So moving on from the TNA talk, I thought I'd talk about NXT really quick and talk about what happened on Raw, then SmackDown news and rumors, stuff like that. Since we got the AEW stuff out of the way. Actually, real quick about as I take a sip of my water. AEW talk. AEW Dynamite, not Maximum Carnage, but it was regular Dynamite as well. Not that good of a show.
Yeah. He was paid by the numbers.
Yeah. They have MJF and Brody King now for a world title match. What's Brody King done to earn a title shot after beating MJF beat Bandito last week? I mean, they got
It's pretty much a TV match. And then just giving MJF something to work with.
There's no story in AEW whatsoever. There's not much going on in AEW at all. Nothing happened on Wednesday. Just wasted a time.
We had the Death Riders against the Don Callis. Please.
Yeah, it was a waste of time.
Yeah, moving on.
There is a positive update, though, I want to talk about real quick. Don't want to spend too much time on it. Will Ospreay's neck injury, there's some positive update on it. It's not as bad.
Yeah, he was backstage for Dynamite for his meeting up with the doctors. his first road to recovery.
Yeah.
He's been out since Forbidden Door after, the steel cage match, and he was taken out by the Death Riders, Moxley and Claudio.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, this is good news for Tony. This is a top guy that that is sorely needed on these shows.
Yeah, and one of their biggest names.
Yeah,
in that company.
And Osprey was doing some of his best work in AEW just last year, and I mean, there's no doubt in my mind he was factored into plans for the World Championship, but then obviously the neck injury happened. Yeah. Honestly, this is one of the things they need right now. They need somebody that is over. They need somebody that like an Osprey, not only can have good matches, but can be able to tell a story. I enjoyed the Kyle Fletcher storyline, even it kind of went too long. Him with Osprey and Don Callis stuff. At least I enjoyed the story with Kyle Fletcher, and the matches were great.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they need right now. They need a great story. Now, there's a story there with Osprey. He had coming back from his injury. They have All In coming in, and maybe Osprey can challenge for the World Championship that he has tried to win several times but couldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe do him versus Swerve again, or maybe do Osprey and Hangman again. There's history, obviously, with him and MJF.
Very true.
Yeah, you just seen, just Dynamite, we had Omega and Josh Alexander, and it was a good match, but how many times we've seen Omega against members of the Don Callis family?
It's just rinse
and
repeat.
Can we please move on from that?
It's rinse and repeat, dude.
Yeah, we had Kevin Knight and Swerve, again, I mean, Kevin Knight is being pushed, I like the guy. We've praised him a lot.
Yeah.
It was fine, but why is it a Dynamite main event? That's not a Dynamite main event. Kevin Knight and Swerve, that's not a Dynamite main event.
There's no story in AEW whatsoever. Yeah. None.
I mean, I like the fact that he's that Kevin is sharing the ring with the top guys, but should it be a Dynamite main event?
No, not.
It should be a Dynamite opener or a Collision mid-card match, not a Dynamite main event. I mean, he can't be there. He could be a main event guy as long as he's booked right. But what he needs is a story to get there. What this company needs, is a big story that can hook you in. And I'm not talking about hook the wrestler.
Right.
I mean, that one story that that make fans want to see the show.
And the same thing
and the pay-per-views.
Yeah, and the same thing with WWE. There's not much story right now either. It's more so AEW, but both companies, not much going on for them right now. Hopefully with WWE coming out of the Rumble, that's their different story. But
I mean, they were building towards it with McIntyre. They're building something there with McIntyre and Sammy and Cody and Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob and Cody at least.
That can be that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a while, but with Cody and Jacob.
So yeah, with Osprey, so it's a good sign. He's making a recovery. Let's hope he makes it in time for All In. I think we're gonna get another Owen Hart tournament, maybe starting in May, because since All In is gonna be in August, maybe you start the tournament in April or May, and then if he's back in there, and if he's back in time, if Osprey is back in time for the Owen, then you can have Osprey in there.
Probably, but
maybe you have Osprey, you have Swerve, because I think MJF will be a world champion heading into All In. I think he's gonna have a long reign, and I don't
think say he drops it at All In, but
but I think I mean maybe Omega can be the champion heading into All In because he and Osprey they complete their trilogy, but I still more so I think MJF will be the champion. Maybe you have Osprey, you have Swerve, you have Omega. Maybe you can put Kevin Knight in there. And and if he gets medically cleared, Adam Cole, maybe you put him in the Owen tournament. Samoa Joe, Josh Alexander.
Yeah.
It's not just the top names, but and obviously names that can be in the world title scene, but also guys that a tournament like the Owen can give them shine, like a Kevin Knight, like a Josh Alexander, and a Speedball.
Yeah.
Or Bandito. Bandito, here's another name that can be in the Owen.
Bandito's and Bandito is great.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be a good lineup. Or Brody King.
If booked right.
It's like that.
The Brody
Yeah,
King
but,
booked
with-
right, yeah, I could see.
Yeah. A tournament like that could be a shine for these guys. To get themselves over.
Yeah. I mean, AEW with a talented roster, though over-bloated roster. I mean, AEW talented roster, but over-bloated. But with AEW, it's just like, it's good wrestling, and it's the better wrestling there. It's good matches, better matches there. But you need
But they need a story. They're just so little of them. Little to none.
Like, there's no substance.
Yeah. Yeah, but with Ospreay, he could bring that emotion. He could bring that story that they desperately need. So it's a positive that he's gonna be back.
Yeah. So hopefully he's back.
Hopefully doesn't miss much time. A neck injury is very scary. It's very risky.
And one of the most
back
serious,
at 100%.
And one of the most serious injuries in wrestling too. That and concussions. And it's not something to be fucked around with. Yeah.
So yeah, with Will Ospreay, let's hope he makes it back 100%. Let's hope he's on AEW television as quickly as possible because they can use a guy like him.
Absolutely. Glad the injury's not that serious. Hopefully he's relatively back soon. So
yeah.
And him back would help for sure. So it wouldn't do much, but it would at least make it at least a little better than it is now. But you want things in AEW change a lot for the better. I think Tony should step down, but it's like Will Ospreay is not gonna save everything, but at least it'll be a little bit better with him back. So I'm glad the injury's not that serious. Hopefully he's back soon, relatively soon, healthy and better 100%, and nothing less than 100%, and not anything that's less than 100%. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I want to move on really quick. I don't want to talk about this much because not much happened on Tuesday with NXT. They had Ethan Page defend the North American title against this masked guy. I think Elio. Who's the guy? Hold on. I'm going to look him up. He's a new masked guy in WWE. I mean, it's here we go. It's Elio Fiore. He's apparently French, but he wrestled Ethan Page.
Luchador.
Yeah,
French,
Luchador.
Mexican?
French. Yeah, Luchador. Lost to Ethan Page this past Tuesday on NXT as Ethan Page retained the North American title against him. Not much to it. I think Ethan Page gets called to the main roster by the end of the year. There was a stare down afterwards with Ethan Page and Ricky Saints are saying they both carry this brand. I think one of them said to each other. I think Ricky Saints was the one that said that. But not really much happened on NXT Tuesday, man. Not much.
I mean, we had Jada Parker on the show.
Yeah, we did have that, Jada Parker, and she got a nice pop. Happy to see her back, but
yeah, I think we had a women's tag match. I think in the main event.
Yeah, triple threat women's tag for number one contendership. I think for the Knockouts tag team titles. I think.
Yeah, I think it was Ren Sinclair and Kendall Gray.
Yeah, the Ren QCC against Fatal Influences, Fallon Henley and Laney Reed, and then against Sol Ruka and Zarya. Sol Ruka and Zarya won after a double Soul Snatcher, then a F5 by Zarya. And I think they pinned Laney Reed, I think, did Zarya. And that Sol Ruka and Zarya won. So they're going to challenge for the Knockouts titles. Yeah. At first, I thought was like, I wasn't paying attention because I didn't care much for NXT, most of it this past Tuesday. I was thinking, I was like, is this a number one contendership for the women's tag titles? And I heard the Knockout titles, like, okay. All right. So I was saying, because then I was like, we've had a lot of number one contendership matches for the women's tag titles. Liv and Roxanne are challenging for them. The women's tag titles tonight against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Yeah. And last night, SmackDown, Julia, the women's U.S. champion, and Kiana James won a number one contendership. Last night on SmackDown, beating Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss and Lash Legend and Nia Jax. But we'll talk about that in a while with the SmackDown part of it.
So we have a lot of number one contenders matches for the ladies. And
Yeah.
and now we're getting number one contenders matches for the TNA Knockouts tag titles.
What do you
Honestly,
think?
I would much prefer if Zarya just challenged for the WWE women's tag titles.
Yeah, but let me ask you this real quick. Do you think Soruka and Zarya win the Knockouts titles, and do you think Zarya they could do you think at some point, maybe sooner or later, I mean probably by WrestleMania, they break up Soruka and Zarya?
Yeah. I don't see them winning the Knockouts tag titles. I don't see it.
I think so. I think they lose their Knockouts tag title match, especially since the Elegance brand just won them. I can't see them losing the titles this soon. Though the Elegance brand I'm not high on, but still. I think they retain against Soruka and Zarya. I can see Zarya turning on Soruka. Probably Zarya for Soruka at Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend. And that's Soruka send off to the main roster.
Yeah.
And she's ready for the main roster. Zarya is too, but more so Soruka. And you don't want to completely gut and shaft NXT.
Yeah, you've been building this angle up. You've been building the story for months now. Will Zarya turn on Soruka, or the other way around?
They've been teasing it for a while now.
Yeah, so it needs a conclusion.
Yep.
And
What
Soruka,
a better way
they are high on her, and she's made roster ready. So, and you have, and Zarya, you've been building this team up to get Zarya over as well. I think she wins the North American title, the women's North American title at Stand and Deliver, and this is how you call up Soruka. You call her up after WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, Izzy Dame's the North American Women's Champion for the women, though.
No, yeah. Izzy Dame is the North American champion. Sorry.
I'm not high on her at all.
Soruka just lost it a few months ago. Sorry for the botch.
Yeah.
And mistakes happen. Yeah, mistakes happen. Yeah, Izzy Dame actually won the North American title. I mean, you may have Zarya can take the North American title from Izzy Dame after Stand and Deliver. You never know.
Very true. But
you've been building. I don't think they need the Knockouts tag titles. I think they're doing the turn maybe next month, maybe March.
Probably. I could see more so March.
Yeah.
I could see more so March. Zarya doing the turn on Soruka.
Exactly.
And Zarya probably operates better as a heel as well, and have her go over Soruka at Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend, and then that's Soruka's last match at Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend, WrestleMania 42 weekend in Vegas, and that's Soruka's last match, and call her up. I'd put her on SmackDown because that women's division needs all the help they can get, and I think Soruka in that mid card on SmackDown would be very, very nice.
Yeah.
Soruka, Julia, Jordan Grace. I'd love to see that.
You can't go wrong with that.
And I think Soruka would fit like a glove on SmackDown. I do. So we'll see what happens there. But I think it's inevitable that Zarya turns on Soruka, in my opinion. And Adam Carl here feeling the same way. And we also, another quick thing. We talk about the Raw talk in a little bit in a few moments. Evil from New Japan. He's from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Apparently he's rumored to go to WWE. I could see David Finlay the son of Fit Finlay get signed, and then all the other stuff. Yeah, I see him getting signed. Gabe Kidd, I'm not sure. Maybe Evil, probably this. I don't know. Unless you put him with a faction to lead a faction, maybe like lead Dark State and NXT, which I'm not high on. Other than that, do you see the reason Evil going to WWE?
I mean, he's all right. I'm just not very, not really a fan. I mean, he's not bad by any means. I just don't know if he fits.
And didn't he used to be with Io Sky?
I think he is still with Io.
Or did they just separate because they were like far away from each other? I did read that.
I think I don't know. I haven't confirmed. There's no confirmation they've split. So they're still together.
I don't know, but
as far as I'm concerned, too, I haven't heard anything of Tony wanting the guy. As far as I'm concerned, he has had no interest in Evil. It's Tony. I mean, Tony Khan, that is. He has no interest in him. So He's not gonna go to AEW. Honestly, WWE is like the only other place he could go to.
I don't see him probably much in WWE. I don't watch New Japan. I've heard of Evil, I haven't watched much of his stuff. But I mean, I guess if you want to bring Evil into WWE, put him on NXT, have him lead Dark State.
He could be a good fit there.
You know, Dark State really does nothing for me. Unless probably you pair them with a leader and Evil. That's probably what they could use and probably what they need. Because Dark State, I think it's Dion Lennox, Shaquan Sugars, and Cutler James, and gosh, shit, who's the other guy in Dark State? Let me look him up. Let's see. NXT Dark State. Dion Lennox. Osiris Griffin. That's the fourth member of Dark State. Yeah, that's how much I care about Dark State. They suck. They're irrelevant. Maybe Evil could be what they need. Maybe Evil from New Japan coming in. If he comes in,
he can elevate them.
Exactly.
They don't really have a leader.
No, there's just four members that like do nothing, and it's like there's no leadership. Like there's no structure in the group whatsoever. They could probably.
They need a purpose. What they need is a purpose to exist.
I think Evil would fit very nice in Dark State, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
So. We'll see, but those are rumors of Evil coming to WWE. If he does come in, I would say NXT is the likely destination. I would say.
Yeah.
And, yeah, NXT Championship, 6-man ladder match qualifying matches are set for next week's NXT as well. I think he got Dion Lennox versus, like, Miles Bourne. I think Joe Hendry's in one of them, I think. Then there's a third one. Let me think something like that. But oh, and by the way, speaking of Dark State, they defend the NXT tag team titles next week on NXT against Adam Carl's favorite tag team, OTM, the Crime Time 2.0 team. Or actually, no, I can't disrespect Crime Time like that.
Shad Gaspard is rolling in his grave being compared to these guys.
OTM. Not Jada Parker. Yeah. She's actually better in OTM.
Yeah, Jada Parker is above this group.
Oh, but OTM have got some shine lately. Give them a chance.
They have no charisma. They have no personality.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, now OTM's getting an NXT tag team title match next week. Can you imagine if they beat Dark State? I don't think they do, but imagine.
Why? Why are they getting a title shot? What have they done?
Well, they've won lately. Against who? Which tag team? Scrubs? This is the state of the NXT tag team division, folks. It's been fucking shambles. It's legit in shambles. This
the
is
men's
why
division over in general, outside of like maybe Ricky and Ethan, it's in shambles.
Yeah, it's probably the worst division ever, and that I've ever seen. This is why they could use someone like Private Party whenever their AEW deals are up. This is why the Rascals should have went to NXT instead of AEW. Now you see why.
I mean, they can use Trey Miguel now.
Right.
They can use him.
Yeah. But Dark State and OTM.
Yeah, Dark State are going to retain.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. I would be shocked if Dark State dropped those titles next week to OTM. I just don't see it. I don't see it whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh, and never again compare OTM to Crime Time. Never again.
Okay. I mean, they're a Team Crime Time, but people compare them to Crime Time, but they're not even close to the charisma that Shad and JTG had back in the day.
Yeah, they're not even close to the performers that Shad and JTG were.
Yeah. Shad and JTG, if Shad was alive, they would be laughing at OTM's asses.
Yeah.
Shad Gaspard and JTG.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But we then finally move on to the Monday Night Raw talk. They were in Belfast this past Monday. It wasn't a bad show, but there's just nothing going on right now. I mean, they're going into the Rumble, into Saudi for the Rumble. Usually these Saudi shows They don't mean anything. It's just, and usually when WWE goes to the Saudi shows, it feels like they don't want to really do the Saudi shows whenever they go into Saudi shows, when they start building, when the build starts with it. It's just, it feels like they don't want to have anything to do with the Saudi stuff and go into it. It's like they just want to get through and get it out of the way. Like, it's like it feels like they legit want nothing to do with the Saudi stuff, and they just like it feels like they can't wait to. Yeah, they feel like they can't wait to get away from the South, like get out of the Saudi stuff. Like whenever, like it's like they can't wait to get out of a Saudi show. That's what I really feel like. And when they get out of the Saudi show, then that's when business starts picking up.
Yeah, it's just a money grab.
It's every time they go into a Saudi show, like it just feels lifeless. Like they don't want anything to do with the Saudi show. It's like they don't really want anything to do with putting in an effort. And the Saudi shows mean like they want nothing to do with putting in an effort going to a Saudi show. And the Saudi shows don't mean anything anyway. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some good Saudi shows. There's been some good. But most of the time, it just feels like, they just want to get in, they get the paycheck because they're getting paid handsomely. And then, then immediately they go to the plane to go back to Connecticut.
Yeah.
Go back to Stanford. So, but this one, this is a bigger event, a bigger Saudi event than usual because it's the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So, and the Rumble sells itself anyway. You're building towards it.
And just last week on SmackDown, not last night, but the SmackDown last week, they were starting to announce people declaring themselves to the Rumble. They could have done this earlier this month, but they decided the middle of this month. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but yeah, there we are with that. It's just, I don't know if it's a Saudi thing. It's just, I don't think they really want to do this Rumble thing in Saudi. It would be better if the Rumble was somewhere in the States, honestly. Yeah. But they just don't want to put effort with going into a Saudi show. It's like they don't even want to be there for a Saudi thing. They just can't wait to get out of the Saudi shit and get out of the Saudi show. It's like, that's what it feels like.
Get in and get out.
And it feels like with the build as well. If this was like Rumble in the States, if this was the Rumble not in Saudi, like say Chicago or anywhere in the United States, honestly, I really think it would be a lot better and much better off. I think it would be much, much better if it was the Rumble build to somewhere the Rumble in the United States and not in Saudi. That's how I personally feel. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, it does feel hollow. The Rumble sells itself anyway, but just, they feel hollow. They're just now announcing entries to the Rumble. You've just seen, on Raw alone, we saw entries for the Women's Rumble. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Bayley, Lyra Valkyria.
Yep.
So they're just building to the Rumble now. And I think we saw some participants on SmackDown.
We did. We had for the announcement.
I think on the men's side as well, on Raw, Gunther. He does declare for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Gunther's in it. Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso. No Jimmy Uso. He's been absent lately, actually, as Jimmy. It's actually
I understand it. He's probably taking care of Naomi.
Reason for that, yeah. Most likely because taking care of Naomi whenever her newborn child's on the way, whenever the newborn child arrives in the world.
Yeah,
he's probably taking care of his wife to make sure, when to be prepared when the baby comes, because he wants to be there for that for his wife. So I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
But Jey Uso is in the Rumble, last year's Rumble winner. He won't win it this year, though. I just want to throw that out there.
He's not, and he should not.
And Gunther's in it, Cody Rhodes in it, like I said. Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Penta, Roman Reigns was announced for the Rumble during last night's SmackDown. There's rumors going around he's the betting odds favorite to win, or it's like him and Braun Breaker.
They rarely. I don't trust the betting odds.
According to Sean Ross Sapp and my bookie, that Roman's the betting on favorite. No one knows who's winning the Rumble. No one knows the Mania plans. Except for two people, Triple H and Nick Khan. Nobody else knows the WrestleMania plans this year. But
CM Punk was the betting odds to win the Rumble in 24 and 25, and he didn't even win either.
Or John Cena was in 2025 as well, and Jey Uso won.
Yeah, Punk, he made it to the final 2 years ago, and he lost to Cody. And then last year, he was in the final 4 before getting eliminated by Logan Paul.
Yeah. And then we got Solo
It's possible that Roman wins. I think he's one of the favorites, but do I think he's gonna win it? I don't know.
If he wins it,
I don't think he should, really.
If he wins it, maybe Roman and Punk, because that we haven't seen. I would not mind that.
Yeah, we haven't seen that match, at least as a one-on-one match in this current WWE. I think did we get this match 10 years ago when Roman was in the Shield?
Yeah, the first Raw of 2024, the old school Raw, I think. I remember
Roman
when Roman was in the
Punk.
Shield.
This is the episode where Jake Roberts returned. And he put the snake on John Moxley.
Yeah, but if we're talking not Shield Roman, that Roman and Punk is fresh.
Yeah,
one-on-one. And now Roman at War Games last November said to Punk that he helped Punk up and shook hands and said to Punk, "I respect you." And then Roman turned to Cody, "Cody, I don't want to team with you anymore."
So, I mean, they get to. I mean, and Punk and Roman, they did face off a year ago. Not in a one-on-one match, but they have that history.
They do.
Last year's WrestleMania with Rollins.
Yeah.
You could circle back to Roman versus Punk, but this time it's a one-on-one match. And
Probably.
if Rollins is back in time for WrestleMania, you could do Rollins versus Bron Breakker in a non-title match.
Yeah.
And resolve the Vision storyline.
Yeah, I think it all depends on Seth's injury if he's back in time by Mania. And Seth and Breakker makes so much sense because Seth got kicked out of his own group. Does Roman win the Rumble, or does Bron Breakker win the Rumble and get Punk again, but then Seth is back in time by Mania and it's a triple threat at WrestleMania for the world title with Punk, Breakker, and Seth? I don't know. But then what do you do with Roman?
It all depends if Rollins is back in time for Mania, because if he is, then he can insert himself into the world heavyweight title seat again. Or maybe if he doesn't challenge for the world title, you do him and Bron Breakker. If he's not back in time for Mania, if he doesn't have a match on the show, then I would have Bron Breakker win the Rumble, and he faces Punk in a rematch.
Yeah, but it
just seems like a holding pattern, honestly. At least in the World Heavyweight title scene, the WWE title scene, I think Drew, he goes into Mania as the WWE champion.
Yeah, there's a rumor. There's a rumor going around by BodySlam.net that Drew is expected to go into Mania as champion, and it's probably going to be Cody and Drew again at WrestleMania for the WWE title. And apparently there's another report, might as well say this now, that Cody and Roman, there were some, listen to this, some in WWE that thought Roman and Cody at this year's Mania was the way to go. And apparently Triple H it's reportedly scrapped that plan, threw it in the bin, and that's apparently it looks like that's scrapped. It's coming from the Observer. I would take it. I don't know. I'm not sure if I would probably take Meltzer with a grain of salt. He usually gets more times wrong than right. I mean, we don't know what's going on.
Nobody knows what's going on.
Like the dirt sheets know nothing. Let's put it that way. The
dirt
sheets don't know a damn thing.
And the creative team and Nick Khan.
Yeah, Triple H and Nick Khan and the creative team there. They're the only ones that know what's happening for WrestleMania. Nobody in the dirt sheets land. The dirt sheets don't know a fucking thing. We don't know a thing.
Yeah, I think Drew goes into Mania as champion. I think he should be the one that goes into Mania as the WWE champion.
Yeah.
If I were to have him as the champion, maybe you have a triple threat match with him, Cody, and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
That could be the WrestleMania match.
I know
in
it
the
may
World
not...
Heavyweight title scene.
For Jacob Fatu,
it's kind of a holding pattern to see if Rollins is able to come back.
Yeah. Would Fatu, Drew, and Cody in a triple threat at WrestleMania for the WWE title? I mean, two things about that. Do you want to really rush Jacob Fatu right now? He's going to be there, but maybe just a little bit more time with Jacob. Then maybe later this year ready. But I'm not sure if it's worth it. Like, do you really want to take the risk and force it with him right now? It's maybe a little bit too soon. I don't know if that's worth the risk. I don't know. He's gonna be there, but not right now. Maybe just wait a little bit more. I don't know. But
You're
and
telling
then
this
this other
story.
then,
It's
and then
about
the
what
other
makes
thing,
sense.
and then the other thing, Fatu, Drew, and Cody on paper, is that really a WrestleMania match?
I think it is.
Yeah. I mean, if the story, I mean, I don't know, unless the
You've got
story
the
is
story
right.
for it.
Yeah.
I think another thing though is that what do you do with Randy Orton? He will be at WrestleMania.
Do you do Cody and Randy with the title or no title on the line? Does it need the title? Do you do Drew and Fatu? Do you do Fatu and Cody?
Yeah, because you have the whole who attacked Jacob thing.
Yeah. Now I don't think it's Drew McIntyre that did it.
You still have the whole mystery attacker thing with Jacob.
Yeah. I don't think it's Drew McIntyre though that attacked Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, I don't think it's
don't.
Drew. I mean, Cody's the only other guy. He's like a suspect. We could go with a heel turn with Cody. But I don't see it. I'm still sticking to my guts. I still think it's gonna be Randy Orton who gets revealed as the mystery attacker.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's Drew. Maybe. I mean, there's apparently, according to Meltzer, Cody Rhodes, there's no plans for him to turn not right now this soon. They're not going to turn Cody not anytime soon. Then again, Meltzer knows nothing. We'll see. I think he does go heel, maybe not now, but we'll see. Yeah. But I don't believe Meltzer. With more times than I don't believe Meltzer. And Meltzer's, and mind you, Meltzer's that paid AEW Tony Khan shill.
Yeah.
Meltzer nowadays gets more things wrong than right. So anything really Meltzer puts out there, take it with a grain of salt. He doesn't know much of anything. But regarding with who attacked Jacob Fatu, I don't think it's Drew McIntyre. If it's Cody going heel, I don't have a problem with it. But I think it's Orton, and they've mentioned, and Jacob's been attacking Drew, but now mostly Cody because he thinks Drew or Cody attacked him. But no mention of Orton with Fatu.
Yeah,
there's probably a reason for that. Maybe it is Randy Orton who attacked Jacob Fatu, and Randy Orton goes heel again. And we get Orton versus Fatu at WrestleMania. I don't know. But then if you do that, do you really want Cody and Drew again? We've seen it several times for months now. Do you really want to do that again for WrestleMania and Cody wins the belt back there? I don't want to see that.
I mean, they've wrestled already several times.
Yeah.
I mean, you want something big for your WrestleMania main event. I mean, I know he's your face of the company, Cody. Maybe that's the WrestleMania main event that you give Drew his actual main event in front of audience. But we've already seen it so many times, WrestlePalooza and on Saturday Night's main event and on SmackDown that it doesn't feel like a WrestleMania main event.
No, it doesn't feel like a WrestleMania main event at all.
Yeah. I mean, it may main event because, Cody's your face of the company. You have to put your face of the company, last match on your biggest show of the year. And I think the World Heavyweight title match, whether it's Bron Punk Roman, that's can be the other night's main event. Yeah, but with Cody and Drew, I think they need to go a different route for the world title scene. I mean, Cody's big enough. He's already had 3 WrestleManias in a row.
I don't think Cody needs
to main event. A year off the main event.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. There are some, but yeah, Roman and Cody, apparently someone creative thought Cody and Roman at this year's Mania was the way to go. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Bruce Pritchard and Road Dogg that came up with that shit idea.
Yeah. We're going to talk more about them.
Oh, yeah. Because we got a lot to say about those two fucking clowns. And as you see them with the clown faces on the thumbnail. Yeah, we're going to talk about them. We got a lot to say about those two fucking clowns. Those two fucking buffoons. But
on the Raw side.
Oh, and I forgot to mention Solo Sikoa and Matt Cardona also in the Royal Rumble as well. Apparently today via social media, Matt Cardona announced himself for the Rumble this year as well. Solo Sikoa during last night's SmackDown.
That's nice. Matt Cardona in the Rumble. It keeps him in the mix.
Yep. But the Raw talk last night.
Yeah, the Raw talk. Yeah,
I want to
there was
talk
another
about
thing.
also, according with the Rumble betting odds, Chris Jericho's return update via betting odds, it's looking most like more chance that Jericho does come back in the Rumble.
I think he returns there. I think there's a good chance he's there and he's free on that day.
I don't need betting odds to say it. I do think he comes back at the Rumble. You don't need betting odds for that shit. Like anyone with a brain can probably figure that out.
So yeah,
and then
another guy I could see at the Rumble. Another guy that I could see at the Rumble. I think we may discuss him right now. Is Javon Evans.
Yeah, Javon Evans. Apparently, he Javon Evans, Obafemi, who if they've not, by the way, debuted on TV yet, I would hold him off till the Rumble. Why would you debut him this Monday and Raw, next Friday on SmackDown? I think Obafemi's another guy that's in the Rumble.
Save it for the Rumble. I think he may get a big reaction in Saudi Arabia.
He's been getting big vignettes lately too. There's a reason. He's gonna do big on the main roster. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
and I expect him to have a very good performance in the Rumble too. Maybe eliminate like at least 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah, Trick Williams. Here's another guy I could see at the Rumble.
Yeah, just like Javon Evans.
We might discuss him now, Javon.
Yeah. Apparently there was an injury scare. Thankfully, it's not that serious. He wrestled El Grande Americano, Ludwig Kaiser Americano. Gracias. He apparently had some shoulder injury scare this past Monday in the match with Americano. And there's a positive update. It's not that bad. He's not expected to miss much time off at all. Thank God for that. He was almost a victim of the shoulder injury bug. Like, what's with the shoulder injuries lately? Yeah. Everyone's getting shoulder injury. Sheamus is out with a shoulder injury. It's just like
Sheamus is out with a shoulder injury. Michin is out with a shoulder injury.
B-Fab, I think, as well.
Yeah, Luchasaurus in AEW, he's out with a shoulder injury.
Just that shoulder injury bug is so contagious, man. I tell you.
Yeah, so I think it was. I think at the start of the match, I think a few minutes into it, there was a spot on the outside, I believe, with the Javon and Kaiser Americano.
Yeah,
and Kaiser, he was waiting in the ring, and Javon clearly he was not getting up.
No.
Yeah, he had to be helped to the back by company doctors.
And then the match had to stop because of like a referee with the X thing, and
yeah, it's not a good sign when the referee is holding up the X sign.
But because just to be safe, the injury scare, thankfully it's not that serious or bad at all. But the referee stopped the match.
Yeah, it looked like he injured his shoulder or he injured his arm. You can clearly see Javon holding his shoulder.
Yeah.
So thankfully he's not injured. It would have been awful timing to just Javon Evans. He's getting used performances on the main roster. He faced Sami Zayn. He faced Randy Orton in NXT. He goes in the John Cena retirement tour tournament.
Yep.
He just debuted on Raw. He just got called up this year. It would have been disastrous timing for him to get hurt this quickly, especially around the time of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. That wasn't planned for him to get hurt.
Yeah. So, thankfully, he's not going to miss too much time. I do expect them to take him off of the shows until at least the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to rush him. I mean, he's fine, but, it was scary that there was a possibility of an injury. So, he may hold him off until the Rumble. He can make his appearance there, his return.
Yeah. I think that's probably smart, but I mean, it's just, I'm glad Javon Evans is not that hurt because it could have it could have been much worse, that injury. So that was big time lucky right there. I'm glad the guy's okay, but I think, talked about this last night watching SmackDown last night. Carmelo Hayes does one of his finishers, the nothing but net, right? Off diving move. He's doing more now, the code breaker. When he does it, makes it look like a very devastating move, and it actually works for him, and he does it so good. I'm even going to go far and say, no disrespect to Chris Jericho by any means. Nowadays, I mean, it was younger Jericho Codebreaker and today's Carmelo Hayes Codebreaker. It would be a debate which Codebreaker is better from which guy. But we're talking today's Chris Jericho and current Carmelo Hayes. I think Carmelo Hayes does the Codebreaker better these days than Chris Jericho.
He does it quicker, he does it faster.
And the way he does it, man, looks like a devastating fucking move to take, man.
Yeah.
Especially when he fought Ilya Dragunov last night in a U.S. title open challenge, the way Dragunov sold it.
Javon Evans, he can take a similar approach to Carmelo Hayes.
I know, and yeah, he's 21 years old, but he does a lot of bouncy OG cutter. He may have to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah. I think Javon is professional enough to know that he will be, that he will be able to tone it down and adapt his work.
Yeah, he's gonna have to if he wants a long career.
Yeah.
Doing high.
It wasn't even a scary spot that injured him. I think it was like or almost injured him. It was just a simple spot.
Yeah, but it could have been much worse if this was like a higher spot. Like high risk moves don't really have a longevity career. Like if you want a long career in this pro wrestling business industry, you're gonna have to like really not do much high flying and just kind of have to water yourself down a bit. I think eventually at some point, Javon Evans will have to do something like that at some point sooner or later.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm glad he's all right. I think we see him in the Royal Rumble. Maybe you have him interact with El Grande. Chad Gable, I think he will be in the Rumble. He's on his way back.
And he looks fucking jacked.
Yeah. You can have Gable and Kaiser, interact in the Rumble. And you finish off the El Grande Americano stuff.
And I could see Chad Gable versus Americano at WrestleMania, and they finish that story there. And Americano unmasks Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah.
Where the Americano stuff should end at WrestleMania this year. It should. So, again, I'm glad Javon Evans is okay, and he got so lucky. This could have ended much more worse than it was. So, and I would say, save him for, hold him off TV until the Rumble, and so you don't risk further injury. I think that would be the safe approach.
Yeah.
But we also got, with Chris Jericho, his upcoming Fozzy tour amid the WWE return rumors. I think there's some Fozzy tour in February or some shit. I think he still returned to the Rumble, but I think Jericho is like an attraction deal. He doesn't need to be there every week.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
He doesn't need to be on the shows weekly. He's the guy you keep
a deal, but almost like the CM Punk deal. He's not there every week, and when he's on there, it matters.
Yeah.
And Jericho, you don't need to have on TV every week. 55-year-old Chris Jericho don't need to have every single week. And you want to make him feel special. Like you do CM Punk feel special. He's not there every week. And when he does show up, you're happy to see him. I think the same thing should apply with Chris Jericho. I think that's most likely going to be the case with him coming back. Return rumors to WWE, but especially with this Fozzy tour, I think part-time, like a special attraction deal, is not a bad idea for Jericho. And I think that's most likely not the contract Jericho's going to have since he's coming back soon to WWE. I really think that.
Yeah.
But then the other thing I want to talk about Raw stuff, Rusev and Street Profits have been off of TV for a while. Apparently there's a reason for it, that they don't want to have them feel wasted or something like that. Reason why they're off TV.
I mean, we haven't seen Rusev since the Cena farewell tour.
Lost to Yeet Man.
Yeah. I think Rusev just recently opened a wrestling school.
Yes. Yep, he did. Yep.
He just opened a wrestling school. I'm thinking that's the reason why he's been off of TV. He's getting his school off the ground.
Yeah. But the Street Profits, I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think we see Rusev at the Rumble. Here's another guy you can put in the Rumble and can have a good
hopefully
there, Rusev.
Yeah. But the SmackDown Tag Division that could use the Street Profits.
Yeah, the Street Profits, it's confusing. I don't know why I guess Montez Ford is taking care of Bianca Belair.
Maybe
she's still out with the injury. Angelo Dawkins, I don't know why he's not on the show.
Yeah, but
it's very confusing.
I'm hoping both. I hope the Street Profits as well as Rusev are back relatively soon because both Raw and SmackDown could use guys like the Street Profits, Angel Dawkins, and Montez Ford, and Rusev. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping the Street Profits are all right. You know, hopefully they're back on WWE television.
Which means hopefully Bianca Belair's return is sooner than later. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think we've seen the Profits. I think they were promoting 2K26. Those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were promoting the game, so it's not like they're gonna leave or something. They will be back on the show
for sure. For sure. And let me think here. Yeah. So I want to actually go into the chat a little bit. Bruce Harper says, "Hi Nick, what's up, Bruce?" And then he says, "Nick, I hope you're having a good day and hope it don't snow a lot or get too cold." Well, we're expected to get a lot of snow. 8 to 12, 9 to 12, could be 2 to 3 feet of snow. It's going to be a major snowstorm tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dude, I was in the grocery store yesterday and like 2 loaves of bread left. That's how crazy. People are trying to shove and cut, try to get all the groceries they can, and it was ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometime today I'm gonna try and shop the last bits of it. I've been doing it by batches, like first half and second half. Second half trying to get done today, sometime later on today. So hopefully that's not too hectic, but hope you're doing well as well, Bruce and Bruce Harper, and wherever you are, wherever you live, snowstorm tomorrow. Stay safe, stay warm, and stuff. I wouldn't go out and drive, and it's not going to be safe out there tomorrow at all. I can tell you, I can guarantee you that. Then Bruce Harper says, "Nick, I read about here," or he said, or
here's what I can read.
Oh crap! Hold on.
I read about the snow, and it sounds.
Here we go. Oh crap! Here we go. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Says, Nick, hope you're having a good day. Hope it doesn't snow or get cold. Oh, here it is. Nick, I feel WWE is better than AEW, but not as much now as Cena has retired.
Yeah.
There's not much story right now. That's the issue. There's not much story.
Yeah, both companies, they need that one big story, that one big good story,
like the Bloodline and Sami Zayn,
and it's executed right.
Like the Bloodline and Sami Zayn stuff.
Yeah, or Cody
like
finishing the story. For example.
Yes, Cody Rhodes finishing the story, and The Rock is the final boss. We'll talk about Rock in a bit.
WWE and AEW need something like that.
Yep. And Bruce says, Nick, I read about the snow and it sounds bad. I am going to go to the store and get some milk and a frozen pizza and some eggs. It's nice. Yeah. He says, I live near Philly. Yeah. Not far, a couple hours, not far from where I live, by the way. But then he says, yes, I agree, as I need more story, and that is why it isn't as good now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could not have said it better. I agree 1,000%, Bruce. 1,000%.
Yeah, on the Raw side, we'll talk about Belfast. We had the main event. CM Punk and Finn.
Actually, before that, I might as well talk about the Finn Bálor stuff. Finn Bálor came back to his OG NXT black and gold theme. Catch your breath. Can we have that back permanently full time and get rid of this Death Rebel?
Please.
It is awful. Awful. It is so fucking bad. And Finn Bálor got a nice pop in Belfast. I know it's his home country, and he had a good match, and he lost to Punk, but Punk held him up and shook hands, sign of respect and stuff. And this was a good main event, and I'm glad Finn Bálor got his theme back. I hope it's not a one-night only thing. I hope it's for real, because it's much better than his Death Rebel song and stuff. Now, there were rumors last year Bálor was going to get a major singles push last year. Never happened. Hopefully this year. Maybe it was delayed into this year because of the John Cena thing. That would not honestly, if that's the case, that wouldn't surprise me. Because I guess everyone will be talking about John Cena's tour and stuff more than anything. But that's just my conspiracy theory right there. But with Finn Bálor, with his NXT OG black and gold theme back and stuff and having a good match a good main event world title match with Punk this past Monday in Belfast. I will say this, and I'm sure you can attest and agree to this. Finn Bálor needs to be out of the Judgment Day and as a babyface and on his own. I would just kill the Judgment Day altogether. The group is dead. Outside of Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez. And then there's Dominic.
They're the ones who are basically keeping this group together.
And Dominic Mysterio, yes, but he's injured right now. Hopefully not for long with a shoulder injury. And JD McDonough's out too. Might as well just end the group, honestly. And Finn Balor's been a heel since 2022. He's been a heel for 4 years. I think it's time that you turn him face again. I think people are ready to embrace a babyface Finn Bálor again, and Balor going back to his roots when he was the Demon, and when he was like his time in NXT when he had the black vest and when he was the Demon / the Demon King, especially his time in NXT when he was like the John Cena in NXT in like 2015, 2016. And then when he went back to NXT in like late 2019, going into 2020 during the pandemic, stuff like that. I think it's time with Finn Bálor to go back to those roots, and I think it's time to turn him face again because I think people are ready to embrace that face Finn Bálor again. Yeah. And he's done everything he could as a heel. I think it's time.
He's pretty much elevated the Judgment Day.
Yeah, there's nothing left for him to do with the Judgment Day as a heel. Yeah,
JD McDonough.
Yep. Now, Finn Bálor, and they've been teasing Bálor out of Judgment Day, teasing tension at Judgment Day for months. Especially Bálor and Dominic teasing tension for months. What?
Years, in fact.
Years, yeah.
Yeah, with him and Dominic.
And with Bálor having a good showing with Punk and Bálor shaking hands, you know, whenever Dominic gets back, hopefully it's soon and stuff. Have, you know, Dominic and Bálor go at it and then or something like that, like tease like, yeah, that's all good. But then Dominic stabs Bálor in the back. And then at some point, probably like, I would say like February or March is when Bálor's kicked out of Judgment Day. And I would say Bálor turns face. He's kicked out of the Judgment Day. Dominic, Judgment Day turn on him. They attack Bálor, stab him in the back. He's out of Judgment Days Finn Bálor. He turns babyface again. And I think one of the matches this year's WrestleMania is Dominic Mysterio and Finn Bálor for the Intercontinental Championship. And I would give Bálor the IC title. And when Dominic won the IC title at last year's Mania in the Fatal 4-Way, also including Penta and Bron Breakker, didn't Dominic win the title pinning Finn Bálor?
Yeah.
So it's a year in the making, kind of. And now next year, Bálor gets his comeuppance and payback, and he pins Dominic this time. And now Bálor's the face, and I would have him take the IC title off Dominic at this year's WrestleMania. And Dominic Mysterio has not done really much of anything with it, and he's been IC champion for a year pretty much, outside of where he lost that IC title to John Cena in Boston last November, and that was because of a moment for Cena winning the IC title, and Dominic won it back at Survivor Series last November in San Diego because of Liv Morgan's help. And Dominic's pretty much been IC champion for a year, and it's time for him to lose that title. And the IC title, I think, is better on like a mid-card title in general is better on a baby face, especially the IC title, in my opinion. And I think it should go on a baby face like Finn Bálor. Have a face Finn Bálor as the IC champion, have him be the workhorse IC champion, elevate that title to have it mean something to where it should be, and have him give Bálor a nice big singles push. You know, if Rhea Ripley, like in this, and someone on social media posted this, it's kind of funny. Rhea Ripley, when she was in Judgment Day, won the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania 39, night one in Los Angeles and Hollywood, beating Charlotte Flair. Damian Priest, WrestleMania 40, night 2 in Philly. Damian Priest, obviously, Money in the Bank cash in, winning the world title. Then last year,
won the IC title last year.
Yep. Maybe Finn Bálor wins the IC title this year, beating Dominic. Yeah. I think that's the way to go.
All members of the original Judgment Day, they win championships at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think Dominic and Bálor for the IC title at Mania, and Bálor winning the title off Dominic and taking the IC title off Dominic's the way to go. I do.
Yeah, this is where they're building to. Again, story.
Yes,
This is a story they've been building for
long-term
years
book,
and months.
long-term storytelling, dude.
Yeah, this is what they've been building for months, for years. You have you have Bálor, finally get his big moment. You have him go into WrestleMania, 60,000 people in the Legion Stadium. You have him beat Dominic, as Dominic pinned him last year to win the IC title. This time, it's the complete opposite. It's Finn Bálor who beats him, and he takes the IC title from him.
Yeah, and maybe Bálor comes out as the demon. I don't know if you do that. I mean, it would be nice though, but
yeah,
I could probably see that.
I don't think so.
If you want to really cement Bálor out of Judgment Day, like he'll be kicked out of Judgment Day, but you really want to cement even more, it'd probably be good to have him come out as just the demon. If it's just that night, have him come out as the demon with a underwear trunks and the demon face paint, everything.
Yeah. If you want to bring some credibility back to the Demon King, that's how you do it. The character's pretty much been dead.
Extreme Rules, a la Extreme Rules 2021, bro. Remember that. Yeah,
terrible finish. This is when the demon died.
And then the turnbuckle broke like magic. The top turnbuckle just broke down like a fucking magic thing. And he lost to Roman Reigns when Roman was Universal Champion late 2021 at Extreme Rules. So Bálor basically lost because of a turnbuckle collapse fuck up.
Yeah, turnbuckle collapse fuck up, and there was no explanation as to who did it.
So let me get this straight. So Bálor loses off of that, like that big botch. Why?
Because fuck him. That's why. It's Vince McMahon for you.
Yeah, that was Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard for you back in late 2021.
Yeah. The demon character was never the same after that.
It was killed and buried at that point.
Yeah. If you want to bring some credibility, if you want to bring credibility back to the character, then you have Finn Bálor win the IC title as the Demon King, and he beats Dominic.
Yeah, and Dominic's done nothing with the IC title. He's been champion for years. He's done nothing with it. He's pretty much a year. He's been IC champion. He's done nothing with it. He's improved Dominic Mysterio as an in-ring performer. Don't get me wrong, but has he done anything with the IC title? No. I think it's better off on Finn Bálor. I do. That's just my opinion. And I think it's inevitable Finn Bálor's out of Judgment Day. The group is pretty much dead. Bálor will be fine as a face on his own. Dominic will be fine on his own. Roxanne will be fine. Liv will be fine. Raquel will be fine. JD McDonough is the one I'm concerned about. I don't see him going anywhere on his own. He's injured now, but if they end the Judgment Day, I don't see JD McDonough really going much of anywhere on his own. I think he's better.
Odd man out of this group.
Yeah, odd man out. He's better like in a faction, a heel faction.
He's pretty much like the odd man out. Because what do you do with him if he's not with Bálor and if he's not with the Judgment Day?
Yeah. Like he'll just get floundered. He'll just flounder, get lost in the shuffle, unless you have him with a heel faction. That's the only way he'll be all right. But I mean, and I think we did talk about this the other day. Actually, if they end the Judgment Day, I don't know if they have a draft or a transfer window this year after WrestleMania. They should. They didn't have one at all last year in 2025. If they do a draft or a transfer window following this year's WrestleMania, dude, I would say this. If they really want a big heel faction, like say on SmackDown, maybe led by Drew McIntyre, the big heel faction on SmackDown led by Drew McIntyre, and JD McDonough is one of the members, and maybe after, say, El Grande Americano / Ludwig Kaiser loses the mask to Chad Gable at this year's Mania, if that's a direction, and Kaiser loses and he unmasks along with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, what about moving Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate to SmackDown, as well as JD McDonough, and you put McDonough, Kaiser, Dunne, and Bate, all with Drew McIntyre in a big heel UK-like faction on SmackDown, United Kingdom-like heel faction on SmackDown, led by Drew McIntyre.
That's a great idea.
Because I can't see McDonough doing anything on his own. Kaiser will do fine on his own. I mean, Dunne and Bate, good tag team, good singles guys as well, but I actually kind of like the idea of a big heel faction on SmackDown, United Kingdom like faction. McIntyre, Kaiser, Dunn, Bate, and McDonough. Yeah, McDonough, Bate, Dunn, Bate, Kaiser, McDonough, and McIntyre. I think it could work. I like to see that.
We haven't seen a European group since.
And that would be like the
Imperium.
And that would probably be the anchor that the WWE and that SmackDown and that WWE probably needs. It's something different. That's probably like we talk about. It's like if you want my honest opinion, WWE is better under the hands of Triple H than it ever was under Vince. It's true. It's not worse under Triple H than under Vince. Like anyone who says it's worse under Triple H and better with Vince is a fucking moron. And you need mental fucking help. And you clearly have mental issues. Anyone who thinks that. It's better under Triple H and Vince, but what they're missing right now is that big anchor-like story. That's what they need.
The one story that you go to that the show revolves around.
That hooks you on, that gets you to watch next week and the week after that. That's long term. Drew McIntyre leading a heel faction on SmackDown might be that way. Fuck the MFTs, the Wyatt Six no one cares about.
Yeah, the storyline, they're building the entire storyline around the lantern.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if that's a fucking Road Dogg idea.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him in a while. Trust us, but yeah, Drew McIntyre leading his own heel faction on SmackDown might be the way to go. If you want that story, that may be it. That could probably work. So yeah. It's just an idea. Let us know what you guys think about in the comment section down below. But yeah, I think Bálor, like I said, inevitable him out of the Judgment Day. He doesn't need it anymore. He's done everything as a heel and as a member and leader of the Judgment Day. I think it's time Finn Bálor goes back to what he was originally, but better under Triple H than under Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
and have him hold the IC title for like a while. Well, Dominic does something else, So
on the other,
that's just my take on that. But
the other
also, Natalya's heel turn on Maxxine Dupri.
Exciting, right? Exciting.
The Bloodsport Natty Neidhart on Monday Night Raw turning on Maxxine Dupri, bro. You love that? And Natalya cost.
This is number heel turn what? 80?
Dude, Natalya is a better heel than a face, bro. Come on, man.
She has turned more times than a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, and the
Kentucky more times than a car.
On a Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. She's literally the female version of the Big Show.
Yeah, where he turned heel face many, many fucking times.
Yeah, like who has the record now for most heel and face turns? Like Natty or the Big Show? I have to look that up again.
They're probably tied at this fucking point, bro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, with Natty, maybe this can work. Maybe.
Natalya turned heel on Maxxine Dupri. It got no reaction, by the way. And Maxxine Dupri and Becky Lynch again for the IC title. That was not good. Please move on from that, please.
Yeah. I mean, it was much better than any of their matches. Right. I won't call it terrible, but they need to move on immediately. Maybe this new Natty character can work.
Maybe. And I expect Becky Lynch to face AJ Lee at WrestleMania this year for the Intercontinental title. I expect that as well. I think that's the one of the directions as well.
Yeah. You can add AJ Lee as another one that will be in the Women's Royal Rumble.
She probably eliminates Becky Lynch in the Rumble, and that sets up their WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
I can see that. And speaking of Becky Lynch, she did also bring up that her current WWE contract she's on is looking like her last.
Yeah, if you've seen WWE Unreal, I think most have seen it. Yeah. Obviously, they talked about the whole WrestleMania thing, Bayley, Lyra, and Becky and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it turns out that Becky did not want to take Bayley's spot at WrestleMania, which pretty much everybody with the brain knew.
Well, that was Becky Lynch playing politics.
Sure thing.
Probably fucking Bruce.
Yeah,
It
probably.
wouldn't surprise me if it's Bruce. I know Triple H is head of creative, but yeah, Bruce has too
Or
much
a
fucking
Road
say
Dogg.
there. Oh, you didn't know? Yeah. It's common. We're talking about those two clowns.
Yeah. So she has talked about not being there. She's been on the road every week, not being there along with her daughter.
Yeah.
It has to be tough. Being a parent, being a full-time wrestler, but at the same time you have a child to take care of.
Yeah.
I don't expect her to retire now.
No.
Or even the next year, but
anytime soon.
But I think she's gonna take more of a step back.
Probably go like part-time.
Yeah, she'll go part-time. Obviously to take care of her family, her and Seth.
Yeah. With that, if anything, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's done well so far with this heel role.
Yeah, she's one of the all-time greats in terms of women's wrestling. She's their biggest star in that division still.
And she says she's the best, and Sports Illustrated says it. It's not just a saying, it's true.
Yeah, that's a fact.
She is the man, big time Bex, for a reason. It's not just a catchphrase or a nickname. It's facts. It is.
What do we say about the athletes, not just wrestlers? Enjoy them while we still have them. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. She is one of the GOATs, man. She really is, man. And I mean, I'll miss her when she eventually retires, but I mean, it's like she won't be wrestling forever and eventually part-time, then eventually retire. I think she's a lifer, honestly, too. Maybe work backstage, help and make maybe in creative.
I mean, she was backstage there, there was one of the Unreal photos. We've seen her, Lyra, Bailey, and Seth Rollins. They were watching the show backstage in the gorilla position.
Yeah. I mean, Becky is part of the creative team or is a backstage agent or producer or work as far as like creative, like I said, or as a coach or maybe have a say in one of the shows or whatnot.
For the women's division, yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
Or maybe be
I could see a future with her, Bailey, and Natty.
Or be like one of the head says of a women's division, like the direction of it and creative of the women's division overall in the company. I think that, and because Becky is one of those ones that's not really much for herself and genuinely wants others to succeed and actually cares. And Bailey as well, probably a little bit more Bailey, but I would say both kind of neck and neck. Bailey and Becky are the two. If you're talking about the four horsewomen, Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, Becky and Bailey are the top two women that actually they want a healthy women's division and direction for the women's division. They're not really all about themselves. Both Becky and both Bailey and Becky. Charlotte is selfish. That's fact. But
I don't know about much these days, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But Mercedes and AEW, at the bottom, fourth.
Yeah,
and that's because Tony doesn't tell her no. I can't blame that on. I mean, yes, Mercedes is to blame, but it's mostly Tony.
He's giving her all these belts that mean nothing
because he doesn't tell her no. It's not like Mercedes isn't bad, but it's like, but when you have a Mark and Tony Khan running a fantasy company that doesn't tell his wrestlers no, that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a big
problem. As well as giving her like 10 different championships that I've never even heard of.
And all he does is tell her yes. He never tells her no.
Yeah,
that's an issue. So it's like Mercedes is here, Charlotte here, and I would say Bailey 1, Becky 2, but Becky is close neck to neck with Bailey.
Yeah.
And Becky and Bailey are not all about themselves. They want to see women's wrestling in WWE thrive. They genuinely give a fuck. And I could see them both when they were, and I think Bailey's a lifer too. I could see them both when both Bailey and Becky both stop wrestling, like overall, in general, as a whole.
I think they will have a role backstage.
Absolutely.
I can see Seth Rollins as well, AJ Styles.
Yeah. Like, who he's seeing creative now is not going to be there forever.
Yeah. There's going to come a point where Triple H will have to take a step back.
Yeah. It's better under him than under Vince.
Yeah.
And than it ever was under Vince. But at some point,
I think he can still contribute, but he doesn't, he can use some help.
Yeah. I mean, when you have like Triple H working with fools like Bruce and Road Dogg, how is Triple H supposed to do what he needs to do?
Yeah.
But at some point, people get old and can't keep up anymore. You know, it's part of life. We're all born, we all live, and when our time comes, we die. You know, Triple H isn't young anymore. No one is young. No one is young forever. But again, don't get me wrong. It's better under him than under Vince. I don't want it to get it all twisted. It's better under him than under Vince. Does he have his flaws? Absolutely. Was last year's worst? Yes. Does he play it safe? Yes. But is it worse than him than Vince? Fuck no. It's much better with him under Vince. Nobody wants the old man Vince back. Like it's like Vince gave a lot of good memories, but it was time for him to go. And it is in fact, and the fact is, it is a lot better under Triple H and under Vince. It's just there's not much going on right now. That's the problem. That and also there's still Vince boys inside like Bruce Pritchard, Michael Hayes, Road Dogg, Ed Koskey. The swamp still needs to be drained. Those are the issues.
You have guys as well, not just Becky, Bailey, Seth, AJ. You have John Cena.
Yeah,
you see WWE Unreal. John Cena, he reached out to Lyra when Lyra was disappointed in her SummerSlam match.
Yeah,
you could see she was crying backstage.
And I was there live for the SummerSlam. And I was there live for the 2-night SummerSlam. That match was disappointing.
Yeah.
And Lyra was beating herself up because she cares. And Cena tried reasoning with her, and Cena really took her under his wing. So John Cena's another one, yeah. CM Punk when he eventually, I think that's at least a couple years Punk wrestles, then he retires. CM Punk's another guy, maybe work NXT, maybe run NXT when Shawn Michaels can't do it anymore. I could see CM Punk running NXT.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes he was an EVP in AEW. So
yeah,
those are our takes on that. So it's enjoy them while they're still wrestling right now, because they're not going to wrestle forever. Like Cody, Punk, Roman, Seth, Becky, Bailey, etc. Enjoy them while they're still here now. So you can't take it for granted. So enjoy every moment while they're here still wrestling at this time. But speaking of
WWE Unreal.
And speaking of Triple H, Logan Paul mentioned Triple H's head of creative. He said something about Triple H or something. Let me pull it up real quick. He said something about Triple H. If I can find it, here we go. He talks about the online criticism towards Triple H. He says it's, quote, unfair. I'm telling you as an insider, and this is a guy who's actually in the company. I'm telling you, quote, and this is from Impulsive. Logan Paul says, quote, I'm telling you as an insider, it's not Triple H's fault. It's human nature. Unfortunately, how easy it is to just assign blame. It's your fault. We hate you. When in reality, most situations have a lot of nuance. Via Impulsive. I mean, Triple H does have the final say, though. He gives the yes and no to everything as far as creative's concerned. He is the head of creative. He is the chief content officer at the end of the day. But I am of the belief that he has, unfortunately, bosses to answer to who don't know fuck all about wrestling, like Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro, who run the business bigger picture side. That's what I really think. I think last year they got a lot of influence, and Rock got a lot of influence last year. I do. Though Rock is now with Hollywood movies, I don't see him coming back anytime soon.
Yeah.
Just stick to Dwayne. Just stick to Hollywood.
Yeah. Not if this had anything has to say. Apparently, I think it's also in the description. There's apparently he's going to be given a big money offer from the Saudi to wrestle at WrestleMania 43.
I think he wrestles his retirement match in Saudi next year. I do.
Please no. The guy, he couldn't even be bothered to show up during Cena's heel run, but suddenly he's gonna show up for Saudi. Please.
It really says a lot about Dwayne. But that honestly.
Yeah.
Fucking awful. I don't want to see it, but if he wrestles Saudi at WrestleMania next year,
I mean, hey, money talks.
Match over with.
I don't have to like it, but money talks.
Yeah. If that's his last match, just get the match fucking over with.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. Just get it fucking over with.
Speaking
If it's
of
against Roman, just get the match out of the way.
Yeah.
And just Roman, and then Rock just retires and goes back to fucking Hollywood where he fucking belongs. We don't need Rock. You know, Hollywood wants calling him more and desires him. How about Rock just sticks to Hollywood and that's it? But the Logan Paul Triple H thing, like I said, I think like there's those like Ari Shapiro, the business side of things.
He could just do whatever the hell he wants. I mean, honestly, he shouldn't really do whatever the hell he wants. You know, he has people to answer to it. He's got a main roster audience that he had, which is a different one than the one he had in NXT. So he has to obviously, you know, change and be different. But he also has people above him that he answers to, like a TKO.
Yeah. Which, by the way, the company didn't need to be sold to TKO and Endeavor. And Vince sold the company to his friend Ari to try and get Ultimate Power. It was never about selling that company. They didn't need to be sold. And I really think selling WWE to Endeavor was a big middle finger from Vince to not only his son-in-law, but his daughter, Stephanie McMahon, as well. When it was just fine under just Triple H and Stephanie in late 2022. And it was just fine under those two.
Yeah. Then again, you have a guy that is so selfish, so egotistical. He refuses to listen to anyone unless you said yes to him.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And I Triple H is not bad at his job, but like people to answer to. But I think specifically more so, I mean, yeah, it's people to answer to from above. He's not a part of the board. He's just an employee there and head of creative there by employee. But but also more so with who he's got to unfortunately work with two fucking circus clowns and two of them being Bruce Pritchard and Road Dogg.
Which is actually going to be our topic right now. This is the big story of the podcast.
Yeah.
What's the job of a creative writer? Any TV show, movie. What's the job of a movie? A director, right? You know how to tell stories. You need the right cast of characters. What is the job of a writer for a TV show?
And to be creative at that.
Yeah, be creative, come up with good ideas. What can we do to engage the audience? One of the ideas, apparently, on WWE Unreal, one of the ideas for Backlash of 2025.
Yeah, you're not going to believe this, guys. I mean, WWE Unreal, I mean, whatever you want to think of it, it ruins it hurts WWE or whatnot. I don't like it. I mean, whatever your opinion is, I respect it. I did watch some of it, some clips of it. Holy shit, bro. One of the matches last year's Backlash 2025 was Gunther versus Pat McAfee, right? Now, It was bad enough. Gunther lost Jey Uso via tap out to lose his world title to Jey Uso at last year's WrestleMania 41 night one in Las Vegas. Then the Raw after Mania last year, which was great, one of the best Raws ever. He attacks Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. McAfee challenges Gunther to a match at Backlash last year to get revenge for his friend Michael Cole. And apparently Bruce Pritchard, why he still has a job there blows my fucking mind. This fucking circus monkey. Even monkeys are a lot smarter than Bruce and Road Dogg combined. Bruce Pritchard pitched the idea for Gunther, listen to this, for Gunther last year at Backlash to lose to a commentator and Pat McAfee, bro.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my, Gunther losing to Pat McAfee, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Why the fuck would you think this is a good idea?
And then Triple H had to step in. Well, if we have that, then Gunther's going to go on an immediate tirade and rage. And then Jonathan Backstrom, one of the writers, then steps in as well. I don't know why we want Gunther to lose to. I don't know why we're pitching for Gunther to lose to Pat McAfee. So Triple
Because
H and
it's a
Dexter
terrible
put
idea.
Bruce in his place.
Yeah, why would we? Yeah, why are we pitching it? Yeah, it sucks.
Fucking like that should not even be a thought in creative or in a boardroom. If one of your brilliant ideas is for Gunther to lose to a goddamn commentator, you should be nowhere near a creative team or a wrestling company, and you should be up for immediate, and I mean immediate, termination. That is a fucking awful idea. God awful. Why would you have Gunther lose to Pat McAfee?
It's
Why
already
would you
bad enough.
even
He
come
lost
up with that idea?
after 2 seconds to Yeet Man.
Yeah, not even 2 seconds. And he lost to Jey Uso for the world title at WrestleMania the month prior. You're gonna have him lose to a commentator? That would have fucking buried Gunther at Backlash. Had he lost a commentator and Pat McAfee, that would have buried Gunther.
That would have buried him for the rest of his career.
There would have been no coming back from that. Like, are you kidding me? You pitched for Gunther to lose to Pat McAfee. Terrible. Bruce Pritchard is a fucking clown. Nothing but fucking Vince McMahon 2.0, a Vince McMahon yes man. He's basically Vince McMahon. And Triple H is taking over from Vince. It's all better with Triple H than Vince, all good and dandy. But I'm telling you right now, as long as people like Bruce Pritchard, Ed Koskey, Michael Hayes, and Road Dogg, as long as people like those four are still there, then it's as if Vince McMahon is still there and he never left. And it's as if Vince McMahon is still in charge with those four goofballs there. If they're there in any which way. Those four clowns.
This is the same guy that was involved in the New Generation era. He had some great ideas, such as Mentar,
God,
Duke the Dumpster Drozy, Isaac Yankum, Bastian Booger. Like what? Like why is he back? Like why is he in charge of creative? Like why is he being allowed to pitch ideas?
He has way too much say, bro. Bruce is the third most powerful man in WWE, not named Vince McMahon. He's got to go.
God.
You want WWE to be where they need to be? You get rid of Bruce, you get rid of Road Dogg, you get rid of Ed Koskey, and you get rid of Michael Hayes.
What an awful idea! What a terrible idea!
And it's as if Triple H it's as if Triple H has fools to work with, and he's working with fools.
What would this be the equivalent of? Gunther losing to Pat McAfee. What would this be the equivalent of? That would be the equivalent of Undertaker losing a one-on-one match to Jim Ross.
That would never fucking happen, ever.
Literally. Jim Ross wasn't even an athlete like Pat McAfee was. I mean, Pat McAfee was like a football player. Jim Ross is what? Just a commentator?
Yeah. This is like Big Show losing to fucking Kalisto or Rey Mysterio. That's not.
At least Rey Mysterio could fucking wrestle. At least Rey Mysterio could fucking wrestle. This will be the equivalent of Big Show losing to Michael Cole in a match.
Like, that's not believable. And Bruce Pritchard's excuse, well, Gunther beating Pat McAfee is too predictable. It's too predictable.
Too predictable. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, it's too predictable. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. It's the
right
outcome
move.
that makes sense. You fucking idiot.
Predictable is not always bad.
On no planet should Gunther lose to a guy who rarely wrestles. Pat McAfee wrestles what? Once a year? Once every 3 years?
Yeah, McAfee beating Gunther. What does it do for Gunther? What does it do for McAfee? It does nothing. Absolutely nothing for anybody. Does nothing for McAfee. Does nothing for Gunther. So why the fuck would you have an idea of Gunther losing to Pat McAfee? That is a terrible fucking idea. Terrible. That should be nowhere near a thought. That should not even be a thought. That should be not even an existing thought, should not be anywhere near a creative boardroom, ever. So unfortunately, there's still Vince McMahon poisons there like Bruce. He needs to go. It just
Speaking of somebody that needs to go.
Yeah, I can't, like, why would you have an idea of going to lose to McAfee? Why? And Matt, and fortunately, Bruce didn't get his way. Good. And then another clown. Oh, D-O-double-G. Oh, you didn't know? The Road Dogg. Your ass better call somebody. Yeah. I wish someone would call you so to say you're fired. Road Dogg was last year appointed a co-lead writer for SmackDown last year?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll give Road Dogg a chance. He was head writer for SmackDown from 2016 to 2019, and Vince McMahon fired him from SmackDown Creative in 2019.
I see why.
Yeah.
I see why.
Wasn't Road Dogg the same fucking guy who booked Jinder Mahal or had the pitched for Jinder Mahal as WWE champion on SmackDown in 2017?
That guy.
Yeah, Jinder Mahal, one of the worst world champions ever outside of the Great Khali. Jinder's 6-month reign of terror, man. Beat Nakamura twice, beat Nakamura at SummerSlam, beat Nakamura at Hell in a Cell clean, buried Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke has still not recovered from that. Had an awful rivalry with Randy Orton. Then the Punjabi prison where the Great Khali came out at Battleground 2017. Helped Jinder beat Orton in the Punjabi prison. And he couldn't beat guys like Mojo Rawley, Sami Zayn, and Luke Harper and Ty Dillinger on the SmackDown roster at the time in 2017 clean. And then Jinder lost the title to AJ Styles in London on SmackDown November 2017, a few weeks before that year's Survivor Series, because Jinder simply couldn't cut it anymore. And they took the title off him, gave it to AJ Styles. And then they were going to do Jinder versus Lesnar at the 2017 Survivor Series, and that match would have fucking bombed. That match is a fucking joke. That would have
been one of the worst ever.
So they took the title off him, gave it to AJ, did AJ and Lesnar at the 2017 Survivor Series, which was honestly match of that year. And Road Dogg was the same guy who pitched Jinder Mahal as WWE champion in 2017. 6-month reign of terror that nearly killed SmackDown in 2017 when Jinder was the WWE champion. And the only reason he was WWE champion was because of an Indian market, and that failed. And Road Dogg, speaking of him, if you watch WWE Unreal, you remember when Chelsea Green won the women's US title second time beating Julia? Road Dogg said, "Oh, we do Chelsea Green and Julia again. This is a perfect opportunity to put the belt back on Chelsea beating Julia." Then Triple H had to step in and say, "Well, if we do that, you're running into Chelsea Green as women's US champion facing baby faces who she's already faced before. So why would we do that?" And then Road Dogg's like, "I see something. There's something about Chelsea Green. I see something in her. And sorry, looks like we're sorry. Doesn't feel like we're disagreeing. It looks like we are." Then Triple H's like, "It's not like we've lost faith in Chelsea Green, but still, like, you're running into the same problem with Chelsea as champion, facing the same opponents that she was in her first reign as US champion with Chelsea Green." And he's not wrong.
He ain't wrong. Tell him where he's telling lies.
And unfortunately, Road Dogg got his way, and that's when we saw Chelsea beat Julia to win the women's US title again. Now Julia's
and she had another awful reign.
Yeah, and now Chelsea's US women's champion is Julia for a second time. And since the beginning of this year, at least Julia's been on SmackDown consistently and has won. So at least there's that. So that I will say and give credit with that as well. But why would you have? But why? Another thing, why?
And what did Road Dogg say? He says that when asked what's next, he says, "I don't know."
Oh, I don't know. Oh, well, Road Dogg, if you have Chelsea's women's US champion, what's the direction for as women's US champion second time for Chelsea Green? Well, I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You're in the fucking creative team, Road Dogg, Brian James. What the fuck do you mean you don't know?
You're a guy. You've been in
fucking
the business for 40 years almost. This guy's
What
been
a
in this business for
fucking
what?
idiot. This guy,
He's
Road
been in this
Dogg.
business for 40 fucking years, it seems. You would think with the wealth of knowledge and the experience that he's been in, you would think he would know what the fuck he's doing. But apparently his brain isn't functioning correctly.
He's fucking hopeless, dude. I'm telling you.
My
Road
God.
Dogg is a fucking lost cause.
You are
Dude.
a part of the writing team. Your job is to create compelling television. Bro, infants in a mom's womb can come up with better compelling television than Road Dogg and Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah. Bruce Pritchard and Road Dogg. We've said this in video calls, man. I'll say it right here.
Come up with better ideas than both of these guys combined.
Like monkeys that they use in science test labs, right? Chimps and science test labs for experiments on monkeys and apes. They can write a better They can do Road Dogg's and Bruce Pritchard's job a lot better than Road Dogg and Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard, Road Dogg, yeah. Throw them right in the big old fucking green trash bin, right where they go.
God, literally, rats can write better television than Road Dogg and Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah,
that's who's running the creative team. This is who Triple H has to work with. Fucking rats.
Yeah, fucking plebeians. It's like he has to, again, like I said moments ago, it's like Triple H is working with fucking fools. How is he supposed to do what he needs to do? Yes, he's head of creative. It's on him. But how is he supposed to do what he needs to do when he's got fools to work with, idiots to work with?
Yeah, fools that who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Not one fucking creative bone in their bodies.
While Triple H cares, the other two, Road Dogg and Bruce, don't give a damn.
Yeah, two guys who still have that Vince mindset in them.
And anyone that thinks that, oh, I owe my life to Vince, I got to pay tribute to Vince. Fuck Vince. He hated pro wrestling. You owe Vince nothing. Those people do not. Those people who think they owe their lives to Vince don't need to be there. Anybody like that, get them the fuck out. Drain the swamp. Drain the damn swamp. The WWE is much better off without Road Dogg and Bruce Pritchard. Nothing will change as long as Bruce and Dogg are still there.
Yeah, nothing will change as long as guys that are associated with Vince, who still have that Vince mindset and Vince ideas. Nothing will change unless these guys are gone.
Yep. It's terrible, man. It's absolutely terrible.
This is so bad. Who pitches ideas like this? Like Gunther losing to Pat McAfee.
And Chelsea Green beating Julia to win the women's U.S. title second time. And then
and then saying, I don't know.
Fucking clueless hack is the fucking Road Dogg. And then the R-Truth thing. You know Road Dogg is like friends with R-Truth, right? Well,
supposedly.
R-Truth got fired, or the contract wasn't going to be renewed. Well, I thought business side it was right that R-Truth got fired, said the Road Dogg. And then speaking of Road Dogg on R-Truth, well, Triple H, I think with R-Truth or Ron Cena versus John Cena Saturday night's main event, John Cena should be afraid of R-Truth or Ron Cena. Then Triple H said, Road Dogg, why should John Cena be afraid of R-Truth? And it almost looked like Triple H and Road Dogg were butting heads.
Yeah, Road Dogg, he didn't get his way.
Thankfully.
I'm sure he cried when he didn't get his way.
Why would John Cena be afraid of R-Truth, a comedy character, a comedy act? Why would John Cena, of all people, the face of the company before he retired last month, why would he be afraid of R-Truth?
Yeah.
Road Dogg.
How does this make sense?
Road Dogg and Bruce Pritchard, again, throw them right in the fucking bin. Throw them in the bin.
Yeah, Road Dogg claims that it made perfect sense to not renew R-Truth's contract last year when expect. You know what makes more sense than letting go of R-Truth? Letting go of Road Dogg.
Yeah. Yeah, Road Dogg.
This is your friend, supposedly, dog, and here he is, essentially throwing him under the bus.
Corporate fucking stooge perfectly describes Road Dogg. a corporate stooge. Get him out.
My God.
Get Road Dogg out. Get Bruce Pritchard out. Get Ed Koskey out. And get Michael P.S. Hayes out as well. Another clown who mentioned that, when Naomi, I remember when Naomi and Sasha Banks walked out of WWE in May 2022. And then then Michael Hayes brought up about Naomi walking out. Oh, you don't walk out. You do what you're asked to do. Pretty much is what he said about Naomi's walkout in 2022. I'm sorry, Michael Hayes. Naomi and Sasha were in that six-pack challenge on Raw for the winner to face Bianca Belair at some point for the Raw Women's title. Naomi and Sasha were 2 of the 6 participants, and Naomi was going to win. Then Sasha was going to go to SmackDown to face Ronda for the SmackDown Women's title at the time when Sasha and Naomi were Women's Tag Team Champions.
Oh my God.
Why have Sasha and Naomi in a six-pack challenge when they're the tag team champions and they challenge for 2 individual women's titles on both shows when they're tag team champions? How does this make sense? And then Michael Hayes is like, oh, well, Naomi should not have walked out. You do a match, you do the match, you do what you're told. I'm sorry, Rod.
A match that doesn't make fucking sense.
Yeah. Oh, well, Naomi, you don't walk out. You do what match you're asked to. You asked to do a match, you do the match. I'm sorry, Michael Hayes. How the fuck does it even make sense, number one? And I'm sorry, Michael Hayes. Why would you have Naomi win and face Bianca only for her to lose? I'm sorry that the match was fucking nonsensical to begin with, Michael Hayes, but I don't expect him to know that.
It's amazing. These Vince McMahon geeks, these old has-beens, it's amazing how none of these idiots who supposedly should know what they're doing, it's amazing how not a single one of them want to take any sort of accountability for the dumb ideas that they come up with.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Michael Hayes, Ed Koskey, Road Dogg, Bruce Pritchard. Throw them
and
in
by
the
the way, Naomi said that she was disrespected backstage. She was talked to badly. She was disrespected. But she's a professional, you see. She should have done her job. Oh, how dare you not go with our brilliant ideas?
Like Michael Hayes saying that, like, fuck off. Awful.
Oh, the same guy, by the way, who pitched for Jay Uso to win the Royal. Let that sink in.
Yeah, Hayes, Koskey. Yeah, Michael Hayes, Ed Koskey, Road Dogg, and Bruce Pritchard. All of those 4 in the bin.
My God.
Right in the bin.
The only thing Michael Hayes is good at is producing matches, and that's about it. That should be his only role in the company, not coming up with creative ideas.
And this is the same man, Michael Hayes, who pitched Jey Uso to win the Rumble last year.
My God. Yeah, how well did that go?
Jey Uso sells a lot of merch. I'm sorry, Michael Hayes. I don't care. I don't give a shit how much merch he sells. Doesn't mean he should win the Royal Rumble.
Jey Uso gets gassed out by the time his entrance ends.
Yeah. Terrible. The sooner they get rid of Michael Hayes, Road Dogg, Ed Koskey, and Bruce Pritchard, the sooner they get rid of those 4 clowns, the better this company will be, because nothing will change as long as those 4 stooges are still there in any which
running
way.
The creative. This is who Hunter is working with. This is who he has to work around.
And you wonder why WWE was not good last year. You wonder why. Now we know why. Fucking disgrace. An absolute fucking disgrace. Get rid of Bruce, Dogg, Koskey, and Hayes. Hayes, Koskey, Dogg, and Bruce. Every single one of those 4. Show them the fucking door. All of them. Every single one of them. Moving on from this rant about the current state of WWE creative. WWE officials are impressed with Roxanne Perez. Apparently, Raw officials are impressed with Roxanne Perez. This is not a surprise. I mean, with her stuff with the Judgment Day, I think she'll have a good year this year, I think.
Yeah, she's been a workhorse the last couple of months. She's done some really good work.
She has. I don't know what you think about the women's world title situation going into WrestleMania. I don't know if Stephanie Becker, if she's good to go, if she makes Mania or not. Does Raquel Rodriguez take the women's world title off her? She's been feuding with Stephanie Becker for the women's world title lately. Like, and Liv and Roxanne and the Judgment Day with Raquel been teasing tension and stuff. I mean, Liv Morgan, you're not going to leave off the card. Roxanne Perez, you're not leaving off the card. Raquel with the storyline with tension and Judgment Day, I don't think you leave her off the card either. Stephanie Becker, if she's good to go by Mania, if that's the case, I don't think you leave her off the card either. Do you see like a fatal 4-way for the women's world title at WrestleMania with Stephanie, Raquel, Liv, and Roxanne? I don't know. I know it's like, it feels like multi-person Mania to get everyone on the card, and not everyone needs to be on the card. But I don't think you should leave these 4 ladies off the card.
Yeah.
Especially Roxanne, Liv, and Stephanie. Especially if Stephanie's good to go by Mania. She's injured now, but if she's good to go by Mania, you're not going to leave Stephanie Becker off the WrestleMania card. That's just nonsensical.
You're not going to do that. I mean, it depends if Stephanie is back in time for WrestleMania, and if her injury, and she can make it to the show. If she can make the show, you book the 4-way. You've been you've been doing the story for months now.
Yeah.
There's that word again, story. They've been telling the story for months with the Judgment Day and Stephanie Becker.
Yeah.
And Liv Morgan hasn't, she's been trying to win back the championship that she lost a year ago to Rhea.
Yeah.
Roxanne, is coming to her own on the main roster. Raquel Rodriguez has been doing fantastic work.
Another one that's coming into her own.
Yeah.
Audrey's calling herself Big Sexy Raquel Rodriguez. Wouldn't be surprised if she's taken in those advice even more so now to heart from Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Who's giving her pointers and advice and tips.
Yeah.
And
if Stephanie cannot make Mania, then you book her to lose the title to Raquel Rodriguez. And you have Raquel go into Mania as the champion.
Yeah. If that is the case, I can absolutely see Raquel take that title off Stephanie. Maybe in a squash just to write Stephanie off TV because of an injury. I could see that. We get Raquel, Roxanne, and Liv in a triple threat for the women's world title at WrestleMania. That I could see if Stephanie's not good to go by Mania. And maybe they save Stephanie chasing to get the title back after Mania. If she can't make Mania.
Yeah.
But this all depends on the injury status of Stephanie Becker. Is what I'd say. I would have loved to see Stephanie Becker and Rhea Ripley for the women's world title at WrestleMania. That's a big Mania match, but look at what we're seeing on TV. I don't think that's the case. If anything, I think Rhea gets Io one-on-one at WrestleMania. Now, they're the women's tag team champions. I don't think they lose the titles tonight. Saturday night's main event to Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. But I would say at some point, maybe February, March, they lose the titles to Julia and Kiana James, who won a number 1 contendership last night on SmackDown, beating Charlotte and Alexa and Nia and Lash. That match was not good, but Julia and Kiana winning was the right move. And Julia's gotten some shine, has gotten some consistent TV time and wins lately. And Kiana James didn't get a big upset win last night on SmackDown. I think she pinned Nia, I think it was, or Lash, one of them.
Yeah.
It was Nia, I think, or I can't remember who it was. But
she pinned Kiana James pinned Alexa.
Alexa, thank you. So Kiana James and Julia, especially Julia's gotten shine lately. Kiana James and Julia, maybe they beat Rhea Ripley and Io Sky on Raw or SmackDown at some point in February, March for the women's tag titles. They lose them to Julia and Kiana. Julia's a double champion, gets more shine. And then you start the tension of Rhea and Io, and one of them turns on each other, and you have Io and Rhea at WrestleMania. And they have a story going into that, if that's a match direction for WrestleMania this year with Rhea versus Io, where Rhea Ripley has never, ever beaten Io Sky. That's a story right there. And I don't think it could be for a world title, but I don't think it needs a title.
Yeah.
I don't mind it for a title, but I don't think it needs it. And you have Rhea finally beat Io at WrestleMania. Probably do something like that. But that's my takes on all that regarding the Raw Women's Division and the world title picture for the women for the Raw ladies going into WrestleMania this year. But Roxanne Perez, high-end from WWE officials, doesn't surprise me at all. We then also got Adam Pearce and Bron Breakker face-to-face on Raw set for next week's Raw. I could see Adam Pearce lifting Bron Breakker's suspension and Bron Breakker's in the Rumble, but Adam Pearce says, Bron Breakker, the suspension is lifted. You're in the Rumble, but you start at number 1. Do you see that happening?
I can see that. He's the general manager. Bron Breakker laid his hands on him. So
He
one
did.
better way to hit back at him than having him start from the very beginning of the Rumble.
Yeah. Now, if you caught Raw on Monday as well, Paul Heyman got this phone call and gave it to Adam Pearce saying this one I think should talk to you, and I think it's someone above Triple H or like something doesn't. It's someone that no one wants to talk to. I don't think it's Vince McMahon coming back at all. I don't think it's Vince. I don't think it's Rock. I think it's one or two people, either Brock Lesnar or Chris Jericho.
I think though you could have this story though last until the Rumble at least.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I mean, if I think Lesnar comes back for the Rumble, Jericho the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's probably more. My guess is Chris Jericho. I think.
Yeah.
To probably be the one that called Paul Heyman, and I think Jericho is probably the new leader of the Vision to replace Seth in the Vision. I think that's probably where they're going, and stuff. I'd say I mean, it could be Brock. I'm leaning more towards Chris Jericho more than Lesnar, in my opinion. And
if they want to reveal it on Raw,
I think it was said via that it's someone, the one who called, it's someone that no one like Triple H doesn't want to talk to, doesn't want to talk to Triple H. I think Jericho, I think it makes more sense Jericho because Triple H and Jericho have that history of not liking each other.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense for Chris Jericho to be that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Jericho coming, and Jericho the Judas with Fozzy thing, it would make sense.
Yeah, they're gonna need a new mentor after Rollins went down.
Yeah, and if anything, the Vision is missing that. Like, they're fine, but they're missing that structure, like leadership direction. That's what they're missing to take them to where they need to be. Chris Jericho could very well be that guy that brings them to where they need to be. To bring Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Bron Breakker to where they really should be than where they are right now. Jericho could very well be that man. And Jericho fits more of a leader of a group than Seth does. Seth is not really a leader of a faction. Jericho is more so than Seth. So I think it's Chris Jericho. I do think we see him at the Rumble. He probably does still wrestle LA Knight regardless, though, at WrestleMania. But that's just my take on that. I don't know how you feel about that, bro.
Yeah, I think we still get Jericho versus LA Knight at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Have LA Knight maybe eliminate Jericho in the match?
Yes. And if you watched the last time LA Knight was on Raw TV last month of December, where Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker took him out in the parking lot with the tsunami on the top of the car, the hooded roof of the car. If you watch that, who's to say? Now Jericho was still with AEW contractually in December last month at a time, but they could always play a story where like Jericho secretively like made the decision where he secretively and quietly,
sent Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed.
Like he was the one that sent Bron and Bronson to take out LA Knight, and that was because of Jericho. He sent Bron and Bronson to take out LA Knight.
Yeah.
He could do that. That could work. So I don't know what you guys think about that. That's what I think, and that's what Adam Carl thinks. Let us know what you guys think of that. And that could if it's Chris Jericho and he's a new leader of the Vision, listen, that would be another like anchor story that Raw needs. I'd be all for that, man. I have no issue with that at all. And Jericho operates better Chris Jericho operates better as a heel anyway. So yeah, I hope it's Chris Jericho, but we'll see what happens with that. But I'm liking what they're doing with Bron Breakker with the Adam Pearce stuff. Adam Pearce is not expected to wrestle with Bron Breakker, which I knew he wouldn't be. But I'm liking what they're doing with Bron Breakker ever since he lost to Punk in Brooklyn. I've been liking what they've been doing, Bron. I think it's been great.
Yeah.
So, then they had AJ Styles and Gunther announced for the Royal Rumble as well, with AJ Styles' career on the line. Do you really see AJ retiring in Saudi, though? Who wins, though? No. Because Gunther really can't lose. But do you want to have AJ retire in Saudi? I know it's a full circle moment where AJ debuted in WWE at Royal Rumble 2016, then retires 10 years later at Royal Rumble 2026, but it's in Saudi. Like, do you really see AJ retiring in Saudi at the Rumble? Is that really AJ Styles' last WWE match? Or I don't know. Because neither guy can really lose.
I don't know how they go about it though. AJ, he confirmed he was on the 6 Feet Under podcast with The Undertaker. He confirmed with Taker that his WWE contract, at least his talent WWE contract, expires at the end of the year. He's going to be contracted through all year. I expect AJ to resign anyway, but he signs a Legends deal and he works backstage.
Yeah.
So does he really? Does he go into the first month of the year and lose? Because Cena just retired. Are they going to have another retirement twice in a row? I don't see it, honestly.
I'm not sure, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but maybe AJ retires in both companies the same year, because this year, Michael Cole said it last night during SmackDown, this year is AJ Styles' last year. Yeah. I just don't know if I can really believe AJ retiring at the Rumble. I don't know. People are saying his contract's up next month in February, or his contract's up this December, or what?
I think it's December. I think it's December. AJ confirmed. I tend to believe AJ more.
Does he? If he does leave, if he's done in February next month, does he go to AEW? I can't see that.
No. The man has stated he wants to work backstage at WWE. I don't see AJ as the type of guy that would lie.
Or does he want to? Or does his contract expire next month, and it does expire next month, so he can work with TNA because maybe WWE's not letting him unless he's with NXT? I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, maybe he can go on a world. Maybe he can wrestle outside WWE, but he doesn't sign a contract. But then he can still go back and work backstage. But even then, why leave and then just come back anyway? Yeah. That's where he wants to be. I think I tend to believe AJ when he says that his deal is up at the end of the year. Is it a matter though? Does he work the whole year?
Right.
Does he even retire at WrestleMania? Does he retire at SummerSlam?
I have no idea. Wish I could tell you.
Yeah, but I don't think AJ retires at the Rumble. I don't think he should. If anything, if you want to keep Gunther strong, have the match end in a draw. That's what I suggest. And have the match end in a draw. Neither guy win, neither guy lose. AJ can enter the Royal Rumble, and then AJ can eliminate Gunther in the Rumble, and then you set up one last AJ Gunther match at WrestleMania.
What if AJ Styles wins the Royal Rumble, and we get CM Punk and AJ Styles at WrestleMania for the world title, and AJ gets one more world title run?
I mean, they did tease it at a house show. AJ giving Punk the world title.
We haven't seen that match yet in WWE.
At least one-on-one in WWE.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but Gunther and AJ Styles has announced one-on-one for the Royal Rumble with AJ Styles' career on the line. The Rumble show's looking stacked, though. Gunther and AJ, Drew McIntyre defending a WWE Championship, which I think will be against Sami Zayn, which I think he wins the Fatal 4-Way against Trick Williams, Damian Priest, and Randy Orton tonight on Saturday night's main event. Then I think Rhea and Io retain against Liv and Roxanne tonight. Then we got Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes. Shinsuke Nakamura is facing AJ Styles tonight as well, which I think AJ wins. Fatu and Cody, I think, goes to a draw or something, or I don't know. I think it's going to be a bloodbath, those two, but I don't know what you think on all that. And then they got the two Rumble matches for the men and the women for the Rumble in Saudi. The Rumble in Saudi is looking like a stacked show, I will say. Lackluster build, but it's looking like a stacked show.
Yeah.
So, but moving on to the last SmackDown talk, a few more things.
Well, before we talk about SmackDown, we may as well just talk about somebody that may actually come to SmackDown if they do send him immediately to the main roster, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Apparently, it looks like he's going to be under a new WWE name by the name of Royce Keys. Now, I know some people may be upset with the name change. Oh, why can't he just be Will Hobbs or Powerhouse Hobbs in WWE? Oh, why do they need to change something? If it's not broken, don't fix it. I get it, but I don't think the Royce Keys name sucks. Look at Mariah May when she changed to Blake Monroe in NXT. It's like a family-related thing. Her niece, Blake, and the Monroe name, like Marilyn Monroe. And I think Blake Monroe is bigger now than Mariah May was. I do. And look at where Blake Monroe is at now. And Ricky Starks when he changed to Ricky Saints. Like not a fan of the name, but you got over and you got used to it. And actually, it's good. Ricky Saints. The same thing with who else is there? Ricky Saints, Lexis King. I know I'm forgetting someone else besides Ricky Saints. Blake. I don't think I'm Ricky Saints, Blake Monroe, Lexis King.
Yeah.
Same thing with Royce Keys. It's not. I thought about it more and more. I don't think the name's terrible at all, and it's I'm sure it's like a family thing. Royce.
It's a tribute to his son. Will Hobbs does have a son.
Yes.
I think he's gonna turn 8 next month. His name is Royce, so he's naming himself after his son.
Yeah, and then the Keys name, I'm whatever you want to come up with that, but I don't hate the name.
Yeah,
and the name change doesn't really like matter much, but as long as Will Hobbs is booked right in WWE, which he will, as long as he's booked right, that's what matters. I mean. We all thought, Walter changed to Gunther. That was the one. Walter changed to Gunther.
Yeah.
After a while, we got used to it, and I actually liked the name Gunther.
Yeah.
You know, Marcel Bartel to Ludwig Kaiser, or Fabian Eichner to Giovanni Vinci. Remember him?
Yeah.
Or, people like that, you know? It's just...
Io Sky changed her name from Io Shirai.
Yes. Yep. Io Shirai to Io Sky. Yep, that's another one. That's another one there, man. But it's like the name change shouldn't really make or break. What makes or breaks is the booking.
It's not like Hobbs is gonna be called the goddamn Mentor, for example.
Yeah, that would never happen. Now that Vince is not there anymore.
Yeah, it's not like he was called some terrible name.
No.
What other terrible names? The Red Rooster.
Oh God.
Awful. It's not like he was named that and give it a chicken gimmick. Seriously, what was Vince McMahon on back in the 80s for real? It's not like Hobbs was given a bad name. It's named after his family. I'm sure he's close with them.
Yeah. But the name change, but a name should not determine a wrestler's fate or career on a wrestling company. What should determine that is their booking. And Hobbs will be booked well, no questions asked. He'll do fine. And after a while, you'll get used to the name Royce Keys. And it actually doesn't sound bad now it rolls off the tongue. Like Royce, like a car like Rolls Royce, there's the saying with that. Maybe has like, wears the sunglasses, comes out in a suit. You could still like maybe call himself Powerhouse Royce Keys. Still have the Powerhouse nickname gimmick. But maybe he comes out wearing a suit and the sunglasses, and he looks sharp, you know.
He did have his name trademarked. I think he does have I think he did trademark his name Hobbs, Powerhouse Will Hobbs, years ago, back in 2022 when he re-signed with AEW. So realistically, legally, he can use it in WWE. He just chooses not to. I think it's a Hobbs decision.
Yeah. But either way, Hobbs, like I've said several times before, I'll say it again, and so will Adam Carl. Will Hobbs is going to fucking kill it in WWE.
He's going to be a star.
Whether he's Will Hobbs or Royce, no matter what name he is, he's going to do very well for himself in WWE.
He also has, it's not just that, I think he has trademarked Monstar. Not Monster, Monstar. Maybe you could call him Monstar. Royce.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Will Hobbs is going to be a bigger star in WWE than he ever was in AEW. I'm telling you right now. He would have never got this had he stayed in AEW.
Yeah, he hit a ceiling.
And apparently, it is not reportedly anymore. He is signed there. Apparently, Sappa confirmed it. Will Hobbs is officially signed to WWE. So good for Will Hobbs.
Yeah, it was
honestly good for Will Hobbs. He decided to take lesser pay in WWE compared to AEW and decided to bet on himself. I got to respect the man for that, man. I really, really do. He could have easily sat and, money's greater in AEW, and go with the money in AEW, the more greater money in AEW. But money isn't everything, and you can't put a price on a happiness. You can't. He could have chose the AEW money, but Will Hobbs is not one of those guys that's just there for a paycheck. He wants to wrestle.
He wants to be a part of storylines. He wants to be in big matches.
Yeah. So I gotta commend and respect Will Hobbs for his decision. And overall, at the end of the day, dude, I think it's the right move that he chose WWE. I think he made the right decision for himself. I do. And he needed the nice new fresh coat of paint and change of scenery. So good for Will Hobbs. I hope he does well. I think he will. And I probably don't need to say good luck to Will Hobbs. He's gonna do good. So happy for Will Hobbs that he's officially now signed to the big leagues in WWE. And pretty much chose Triple H over Tony Khan. So chose the career and pride over money. So good for Hobbs. So I'm happy for this. So I'm happy for the guy. 100, And
one guy goes in.
And actually, and I don't know if he now. I would have now my preferring is him starting NXT for a while, get his feet wet, then get called up to Raw or SmackDown on the main roster. But if he goes straight to the main roster and skips NXT, what do you think? I think Will Hobbs, if you look at the heel side on Raw and the heel side on SmackDown, heel side on Raw is fine, but you look at the SmackDown heel side, there's not much heels on the SmackDown side. What about debuting Will Hobbs as a heel on SmackDown and maybe hold off on him until WrestleMania? And you have Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes at WrestleMania for the United States Championship, and Trick Williams wins the U.S. title off of Carmelo Hayes, but from the help of a debuting Royce Keys. And he's like the new muscle or insurance policy for Trick Williams, similar to like a Triple H Batista pairing like from Evolution.
You can do that. I'm not sure though if they hold off on him this long though, because he's already a free man.
Yeah, maybe we see him in the Royal Rumble.
You can do that. I mean, that'll be something big for him. It would demonstrate what they think of the guy, that they want him immediately on the main roster coming out of AEW.
And he has a nice showing. Imagine like Will Hobbs and Obafemi in the Rumble, dude. They have a stare down.
Will Hobbs and Gunther. Will Hobbs and Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah. Will Hobbs and Fatu. Will Hobbs and Bron Breakker. Yeah. Will Hobbs, Jacob.
You could give him a decent performance. Maybe give him 3 eliminations.
Yeah,
how dominant he is.
Having there for a decent time.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him on NXT too, because they need some help in that men's division, but I could see him on SmackDown. SmackDown, they're bleak in terms of like top heels.
Yes. Absolutely.
And if Obafemi is heading to Raw, then you have Powerhouse Hobbs on SmackDown. He could be the monster heel on SmackDown.
Yeah, I would not have Will Hobbs and Obafemi on the same brand, to be honest.
Yeah, you have Raw already. They already have Gunther. They have Obafemi. They have Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed. They have the bigger guys. They have more meat.
Yes,
they have meat on top of one meat.
Yeah, more meat or beef on Monday Night Raw. SmackDown doesn't really have much of it.
Yeah, the only top heel on SmackDown is like Drew McIntyre. And like
that's it.
Yeah,
there's just Aleister Black, but he's out selling the effects from the ambulance match. He's going to be out for a while.
Yeah. So you need another top heel on that SmackDown card that you could push as a main eventer. Hobbs, he fits. He has everything you need to be a main event star. I could see him in the main title scene, world title scene, US title scene on SmackDown.
Yeah, he helps.
And he could be just the top heel next to Drew McIntyre.
He could be. But I'm thinking Trick Williams and Will Hobbs or Royce Keys pairing, similar to Triple H Batista and Evolution, and Hobbs is like the muscle or insurance policy for Trick. I mean, I think Trick could do well on his own. He's good on his own. But, I mean, if you want to get Royce Keys to where he needs to be, a Royce Keys and Trick Williams pairing may not be a bad idea, and Royce Keys or Will Hobbs can learn a thing or two from Trick Williams, and then eventually breaks out on his own away from Trick, and then Trick and Hobbs feud, similar to when Batista left Evolution and eventually outgrew Evolution in 2005.
Yeah.
could probably do something like that. And Hobbs and Trick may not be a bad pairing at all. I actually like that idea.
Yeah, like use that to get Hobbs over.
Yes.
Get that as an introduction to the main roster for Hobbs.
Yeah, because if you have Will Hobbs on his own, does everybody really know who he is? I mean, people watch AEW, but do everyone do everyone know who Will Hobbs is?
And maybe some, if you already know him on television on AEW, maybe he gets a decent reaction. I think they'll be respectful to the guy and what he can bring to the table, but I'm not. But most don't know. At least on the if you're a casual fan, you're watching WWE only. Not that many may know who he is. But everybody knows who Trick Williams is, though. So if he stands there, next to Trick, it will get Hobbs that much over. You can tell a decent story with these guys. Who knows? Maybe Hobbs is the one to take the U.S. title then off of Trick Williams. Maybe he helps him win the U.S. title off of Carmelo at Mania. And then maybe at SummerSlam or end of the year, have Hobbs or Royce Keys, rather, beating Trick for the U.S. belt.
He could do something
and he has his own Gunther-like reign with the that Gunther had with the IC title.
But with the United States title, I would have
the U.S. champion.
I'd have no issue with that. That could be something, but excited for Will Hobbs now. He's signed with WWE. We'll see where this goes, what show he's going to end up on. Either way, Will Hobbs, he's going to do well, man. So he's going to do well. Whichever show gets him, they're lucky to have him, and he's going to do pretty well for himself. I am very sure of. So then, moving on to Tommaso Ciampa, before we talk about SmackDown highlights real quick. Tommaso Ciampa is apparently leaving WWE to smart his contract's up. He put something on X that he thanked his time in WWE, thanked the Black and Gold family, the production, camera crew, staff crew, creative, the locker room. Thanked a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it looks like he is leaving in March. I wish Ciampa, I wish Tommaso Ciampa nothing but the best. I hope he does okay for himself. He has a decade left of wrestling. I think TNA would be his best suit to go for.
Apparently, from what I'm hearing, though, there is interest to bring him into New Japan.
I would say TNA is the better option.
Yeah, probably TNA is the better option for him.
He could be like a big fish in a small pond in TNA and probably be TNA champion. And with the NXT TNA partnership, he could probably appear back on NXT again under TNA contract.
Yeah, I think there's likely chance of, maybe New Japan would be nice, but they could use some stars too. But I think TNA. I think it's more of a perfect fit for him.
And Awesome Championship Wrestling ACW based around Poughkeepsie, New York. And shout out to ACW, by the way, and Hale Collins, who owns ACW also. Shout out to all those guys. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we see Tommaso Ciampa in ACW. The Hardys will be there March 14th at Poughkeepsie, New York for ACW Aftershock Saturday night, March 14th. The Hardy Boys will be there. Who knows? Maybe one of the ACW shows Tommaso Ciampa will be there. Would be nice. So we'll see. But I think TNA is the better, safer option.
You never know. Maybe we'll get Tommaso Ciampa and Mike Santana for the ACW World Championship.
Yeah, we'll never know. Or Richard Holiday and ACW champion versus Tommaso Ciampa, or Nick Nemeth in ACW versus Tommaso Ciampa. Who knows? But it's sad to see him leave. He's a big Triple H guy. It's sad to see him go, but I just want the man to be happy at the end of the day. I wish him nothing but the best. Do I think Triple H dropped the ball? Kinda, but that's what happens when you have Bruce and Road Dogg. I wouldn't be surprised if it's fucking Road Dogg.
Yeah. And what else Hunter was going to do? And Tommaso as well, he's had some big injuries, unfortunately, that derailed him.
The neck injury, then the hip injury.
Yeah, the knee injury.
Injuries have not done him any favors.
Yeah, that knee injury that basically derailed that DIY feud at the start of it, even when he did the turn on Johnny. Then the neck injury which forced him to vacating the NXT title. And then the hip injury just as Triple H took over the main roster and Johnny returned.
Yeah.
He's been struck with bad luck.
Yeah.
He's been through the ringer.
Like injury prone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's
injuries
he's
have
a
not
little bit
helped.
older too, so
Yeah. So yeah, injuries have not helped his cause.
no. But I
So I'm not
but I
gonna
think
fully. So I won't call it more so bad creative. It's more so like his health has failed him.
I mean, could they have done better with him and DIY and Gargano on the main roster? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially what happened last night with Johnny Gargano and the mask thing with Fraxium. That was fucking awful. I would not be surprised if that came from Dog or Bruce.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that was Triple H doing that shit. You would I refuse to believe that, and you'll never convince me otherwise. That easily has to be a Road Dogg idea or Bruce Pritchard idea.
Terrible.
Easy.
Terrible.
That was awful. How I was a Axiom pulled the mask on, put a mask on Candice LeRae, and Candice LeRae accidentally hit Johnny, and he got rolled up 1, 2, 3 by Nathan Frazier. That was fucking garbage. Absolutely Vince McMahon booking like garbage. I would not be shocked if that's Bruce or Road Dogg, one of them. That would not shock me at all. This is why Bruce Pritchard and Road Dogg need to get fucking canned immediately. Throw them throw them in the bin. All of them in the bin. But Tommaso Ciampa leaving WWE this March as his contract is expiring in March. Again, I wish the guy nothing but the best. Hope he does well for himself. But at the end of the day, dude, I just want the man to be happy no matter where he goes. But AEW is not an option. He'll get lost in the shuffle. And with their reckless in-ring style, he don't stand a chance. And don't put him in the Don Callis family either. That's not an answer either. New Japan, I'd say no. I think TNA would be a good destination for Ciampa. And at some point, I know he has a decade left of wrestling. Do you see Tommaso Ciampa probably back in WWE, maybe as a coach or a trainer or something?
I could see it.
I mean, at some point, I could see him back in WWE, but I mean, but as long as the man's happy, that's all I care about. And I wish Ciampa nothing but the best. And I wish him nothing but the best no matter where he goes. And I will support him wherever he goes. And I will support the Psycho Killer no matter where he goes, too. So we'll see what happens regarding Tommaso Ciampa and his next move after leaving the WWE come this March in 2 months. And then we got the SmackDown highlights. The MFTs are the new tag team champions. I don't give a fuck.
Great.
The tag titles go from one irrelevant team to another irrelevant team. This will do fuck all with the tag titles now on the MFTs. MFTs,
Sure
I don't want anywhere near my television. Get them the fuck off my TV.
This is gonna last until WrestleMania, isn't it?
Please, no. The sooner we get the tag titles off MFTs, the better, please. Just get them off MFTs.
Where's the Motor City Machine Guns, by the way?
They're working AAA show, apparently. Yeah, where are they?
Yeah.
Where are the Street Profits? Fraxium, instead of this mask fucking shit story that Road Dogg came up with against Johnny Gargano and DIY, instead of that shit idea from Road Dogg, how about Fraxium challenge for the tag titles? Have them take the titles off of MFTs at WrestleMania. Because I don't want to see MFTs versus Wyatt 6 anymore. It's over with those two. It's over.
Then you have who else? Who's missing? Yeah, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo.
With Legato, yeah. Santos Escobar did show back at AAA, and he has the haircut. He looks sharp with the haircut, though. Happy to see him back.
Like where are Angel and Humberto there, Road Dogg? They couldn't have been the ones to beat the Wyatt Six for the tag titles, but no, let's give them to the fucking MFTs.
Or does Road Dogg see something and the MFTs like, oh, I see something. Oh, there's something about us, there's something about the MFTs. Then again, Road Dogg in the Attitude Era was a shit wrestler, mediocre wrestler. Even in the New Age Outlaws team, Billy Gunn was always the star. Road Dogg will always be second rate to Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn was always the star of the New Age Outlaws tag team. Road Dogg was pretty much Billy Gunn's Marty Jannetty.
Oh my god! Even Marty Jannetty was at least Marty Jannetty was a good wrestler in the ring. Road Dogg isn't even that.
Yeah. But MFTs are the new.
How much you bet that during those creative meetings, Road Dogg pitched the MFTs to win the tag titles, and then he says afterwards, what's the plan after? And he says, "Oh, I don't know."
Road Dogg, put him. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. And what happened to the SmackDown tag division, man? Last year they were actually good. Now look at them. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's like, what happened? How do you go from what they did last year and going into SummerSlam for 8 months last year to now this? How do we go from last year to now? Even their TLC match on the SmackDown After Mania last year with Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits, and DIY, that was awesome, which should have been on the Mania card last year, by the way. How do we go from that last year to this now? I'm mind boggled by this, bro. Mind boggled. Can't wait for the titles to come off MFTs. Hopefully the reign is a very short one, because that reign for the MFTs will go nowheres. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I think we can move on now from Road Dogg.
Yeah.
All that shit.
Yeah. Enough talking about Road Dogg. I mean, he's irrelevant as it is. Road Dogg. Sami Zayn did open the show. Got a big reaction in his home country, Montreal. I'm not surprised. Chick Williams did interrupt him, and they had a segment back and forth as well. It was a nice segment. Damian Priest was involved as well. They did have a U.S. title open challenge as well with Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov, and The Miz cost Dragunov the title, and Melo retained. Don't tell me they're doing Miz as the next challenger for Carmelo Hayes in the U.S. title.
There's another Road Dogg specialty, The Miz.
Oh, Miz is awesome. I see something in The Miz. Wouldn't that surprise me if that's a Road Dogg ideology?
Yeah. Yeah, we have The Miz, who's going to lose again. He's going to lose to Carmelo Hayes, whatever they do that match.
As he should, but I don't want to see the fucking match. Why is The Miz still on my TV wrestling in 2026?
Why is The Miz on the writing team and not Road Dogg better yet?
Or better yet, why is Miz not on commentary? That's where he should be. As a wrestler, The Miz is well past his expiration date. Unbelievable, man. It's just like, I see something about, there's something special about Miz. Oh, well, what do you do with Miz, like, with there? Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Awful. It was a good match, though, with Carmelo Hayes and Dragunov, I will say.
Yeah. Dragunov and Melo, they never miss.
I think it was his Dragunov's rematch as well, I think, but it was an open challenge on the
rematch for the U.S. title.
This was good stuff. Dragunov is a damn good seller, I will say.
Yeah, the way he sold that code breaker was picture perfect.
Like when Miz hung him up and then the code breaker, yeah. But please, I will say no thank you to Carmelo Hayes and Miz for the United States Championship. I say no thank you to that. We did get also, and this was one of the better parts of last night's show, which I don't think was that good last night. And the last night felt like 3 hours dragged. Well, that's what happens when USA Network likes then wants that third hour, because USA Network has nothing going for them. If they didn't have WWE, USA Network is dead. Dead. Nothing but Law and Order reruns and Chicago PD reruns. That's all they fucking have. But this was one of the better parts of last night's SmackDown. They did have a sit-down interview with Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. Now, this was really, really good stuff, bro. They had Cody Rhodes bring up Jacob Fatu's jail time, and Cody Rhodes went there. And this was good last night with Fatu and Rhodes. What do you think?
This was fantastic. Honestly, this was my favorite part of the show. My favorite thing on SmackDown. With Cody, he's all business. I think I like the direction they're taking with his character. He doesn't always do and all that.
Wow.
He's far more. He brings emotion. He brings intensity.
And Cody Rhodes has been having more of an aggressive side lately. I like that instead of all the time whoa and the pyro.
Yeah, he's all business.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been liking what they're doing with the aggressive Cody lately, ever since dropping the title in 3 stages of hell with Drew McIntyre in Berlin. But I'm liking what they're doing so far with Cody and Fatu. And they're wrestling tonight on Saturday night's main event. I kind of expect that to go to a draw and they still feud.
Yeah. I think Cody's in the Rumble. Maybe you have Fatu eliminate Cody in the Royal Rumble.
I could see that. I don't think Cody wins the Rumble, but there's the Elimination Chamber in Chicago. I don't know if Cody wins that or Fatu does, or if one of them wins the other lobbies and fights to try and get in the match. Nick Aldis makes the WWE title match at WrestleMania a triple threat with Fatu, Cody, and Drew.
Yeah.
That's probably a direction, probably. But this was a very good sit down with Cody and Fatu. This was great.
Nice.
This was very good stuff. One of the best parts of last night, hands down.
Yeah, we had
and the sit down interviews are always pretty good too.
Yeah.
Women's champion Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green with Alba Fire and Jordynne Grace. Man,
do we need to discuss that? We need to discuss it more than 30 seconds. What do you want?
Not really. Jade Cargill won with Jaded. Chelsea Green did a suicide dive, nice one, but Jade Cargill won with Jaded. Who cares?
Yeah. She wins with Jaded. She gets confronted by Jordynne Grace. Moving on.
And Jordynne Grace did also declare herself for the Royal Rumble as well.
Yeah.
Now, I thought they would do Jade Cargill and Jordynne Grace for tonight's Saturday night's main event for the women's title. I'm glad they didn't do that.
Probably they do it in February.
I don't know. I thought they'd do it for tonight because Jordynne Grace just got called up. Then only have her lose to Cargill, the women's title with Jade Cargill retaining. Thank God that didn't happen. Thank God that's not happening tonight. I will say, it's too soon. I don't know if Jordynne Grace wins the Rumble. My pick is still Bianca Belair to win the Royal Rumble and face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania for the women's title. That's my take on that. But either maybe Jordynne Grace or Bianca Belair. I'm still going Bianca, but Jordynne Grace did announce herself for the Royal Rumble, so she's in the women's Rumble. Is Jordynne Grace? So far, for the women's Rumble, Jordynne Grace is in it. We got let me see here. Yeah, Jordynne Grace is in it. Let me look. Jordynne Grace in the women's Rumble. Chelsea Green, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Flash Legend, and Julia. From SmackDown in the women's Rumble, and from Raw, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, and Asuka's in the Rumble as well.
Asuka, Kyrie.
Yep. No, Kyrie not yet. Not yet, at least with Kyrie. I think she is in the Rumble too.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe Alba Fire, but she'll get eliminated quick. But Chelsea Green's in it. Oh, and by the way, another statistic. Listen to this, bro. Jade Cargill's been women's champion for 100 days. You know how many title defenses Jade Cargill's had as women's champion for the first 100 days as champion?
How many? No,
0.
that's not possible.
0. I kid you not. Someone brought up on X. 100 days as women's champion for Jade Cargill, 0 title defenses. Jade Cargill will go down as one of the worst women's champions ever. Ever.
What is she supposed to do when the division itself is in fucking shambles?
Yeah, they have no women on. They have a depleted women's division on SmackDown. It's disgraceful. This is why SmackDown's women's division needs all the help they can get. Just Jordynne Grace called up to the SmackDown women's division is not enough. They need more, a lot more.
They need call-ups badly,
and good ones at that. I'm talking Sol Ruca, Lola Vice, Jada Parker, JC Jane, etc.
Fallon
Henley. Even JC Jane. I'm not that high in JC Jane, and she's gotten kind of better. I would take her over Jade Cargill any day of the week. Honestly, Jade Cargill is awful. She is not good.
And honestly, there seems like they're waiting for Bianca Belair to come back. That's honestly what it feels like.
Yeah, and is the injury? She injured her finger at Mania last year. Is the injury that bad? Like what's going on?
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on, but I can't, like, the sooner Bianca Belair gets back, the better it's going to be. And I can't wait for Bianca to get back. She can't come Bianca Belair, the EST cannot come back fast enough. So we then also have on SmackDown last night, moving on from the Chelsea Green, Jordan Grace, and Jade Cargill stuff. We then the WWE Tag Team title stuff. Talked about that already. Nathan Frazier, Johnny Gargano, awful. We talked about that. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Drew McIntyre did also have an in-ring segment as well, and he did bring up Sami Zayn and his family. This was a nice promo from Drew McIntyre, and man, does he look good with that WWE title draping on his shoulders, bro.
Yeah, he looks like a champion.
Yeah. I think Sami Zayn wins the Fatal 4-Way tonight and becomes #1 contender for Drew at the Rumble for the WWE Championship. And if you saw last night, Drew McIntyre's trying to get in Sami Zayn's head. Sami slapped Drew right in the face backstage last night during SmackDown, and Sami Zayn's never beaten Drew McIntyre. I think we get Drew and Sami at the Rumble. I think that's a nice match for the WWE title at the Rumble, where Sami Zayn's beloved in Montreal and in Saudi. Though I don't think Sami Zayn wins the title at the Rumble. I don't think he does.
No, I don't think so.
Speaking of Sami Zayn, I read something this morning. I know it's last minute. I know it was last minute. I read something this morning that Sami Zayn there was some discussions. Let me pull it up. If I can find it. Sami Zayn was originally planned it was said there was original plans for Sami to be in a world title match this year at WrestleMania. There was discussions about it. Now, I don't think Sami Zayn wins that title this year. I think by next year's Mania, yes. If it happens this year, I would not be upset with it. I don't know if they go ahead.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Sami winning this year. It just depends, though. Does he win the 4-way? Or he loses. I think he wins it, given the ending of SmackDown.
Yeah, Orton stood tall last night, so he's not winning tonight. I think Sami Zayn wins tonight. I do.
Yeah.
I think Sami wins. He falls to Drew at the Rumble. I don't think Sami challenges for a world title this year. I think maybe Sami Zayn and Aleister Black, and Black comes back after the Rumble and gets inside Sami's head, tries to doubt Sami, and tries to mindfuck Sami, and we get Aleister Black and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, maybe. Probably it's a direction. Or if that doesn't happen, if Sami does win a world title this year at Mania, listen, you get no complaints from me. I think at the latest Sami wins a title by next year's Mania. But if it happens this year, I would not be mad with it. I would not be mad with it at all. Maybe we get Sami, Drew, and I don't know. It's tough. Like, maybe you get Sami. Maybe you do get Sami and Drew, and maybe like some kind of a stipulation. I don't know, but I do think Sami and Drew fight at the Rumble for the title. I don't think Sami wins it there. I think Drew retains at the Rumble against Sami Zayn, if anything. That's my take on that. But there were original plans for that to happen, for Sami winning a world title at this year's Mania. I do see people pitching an idea or fantasy booking. Sami loses to Drew, but then later on goes in the Rumble and wins. I don't think that happens.
No.
I don't think that happens at all. But that's my take on the Sami Zayn situation and stuff. But I think Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, that is your WWE title match officially for the Royal Rumble. And that is a very nice match for the Rumble as well. And Sami's never beaten Drew. I think he's 0-11 against Drew McIntyre. It'll be 0-12. So that's a nice little statistic. And I'm liking what they're doing with Drew trying to get in Sami's head, talking about Sami Zayn's family and his son. It's a nice layer. So I'm liking what they're doing with that. And Sami Zayn being this underdog, and he's finally going to win the world title for his family. He's finally going to win the big one. He's never won the big one. He's going to be, like he says, I am going to be the world champion. I am going to be the WWE champion. Sami's been saying it for months.
But here's a question though. Let me tell you something. Is Sami Zayn going viral though?
Well, he doesn't spread the words toxic masculinity with Kit Wilson.
Yeah, we had Kit Wilson. He was backstage.
Backstage with Matt Cardona. He told Matt to wake up.
He going
says,
viral.
Toxic masculinity. I'm here to get rid of the toxicity. Oh, Kit Wilson, toxicity. You mean Road Dogg and Bruce Pritchard? Michael Hayes, Ed Koskinen?
I was.
Yeah. Maybe he's talking about them. If so, then good on you, Kit Wilson. Good on you.
Yeah, so yeah, that Kit Wilson and Matt Cardona backstage.
Yeah, Kit Wilson and Matt Cardona are backstage. He's telling Matt Cardona to wake up and stuff like that. So, I mean, so I guess they're feuding right now. I don't know what you think about it, but
it's just Matt Cardona's first feud. They pretty much want to give him something as his first feud back. And Kit Wilson, and he's gonna lose anyway. He's a jobber to the stars. I
don't think it's bad. I think it won't be that long. It's just a warm up for Cardona, if anything. I think, and he will be in the Royal Rumble as well.
Yeah. So. Maybe they book a match. Maybe they book a match on SmackDown. Maybe the loser has to enter the Rumble first.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking last week. This is how you have Kit Wilson pretty much enter the Rumble first, and then he's the first one out.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But the number one contenders match for the women's tag team championships: Julia and Kiana James for Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax and Lash Legend. This was bad. There was botches in this. This was not a good match. And Lash Legend is not ready. I'm sorry, she's not. What'd you think of this match?
I mean, it was all right. Honestly, the best performer of this match was honestly Charlotte.
Yeah. And then you've got Julia as well.
Yeah, Julia. Yeah, she was the other good performer.
Yeah.
But it's like, it was just all over the place. I mean, Lash Legend, I mean, they're having her team with Nia. It's going to take a while for her to get over on the main roster. I mean, she looks like a star, but it's going to take time with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's teaming with Nia for a reason.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Here's my question. Why aren't Lash and Nia the number one contenders?
Yeah, and they're fighting a number one contender match. Didn't they beat then champions the Kabuki Warriors months ago?
Yeah, they beat the Kabuki Warriors
automatically by default the women's tag team champion number one contenders.
Yeah, they beat the champions and they still haven't gotten the title match they're owed. Like, why?
Yeah.
But Kiana James and Julia win. I mean, Julia's been on TV every week.
She has, and she's been on TV every week consistently and has actually won. So I will say to myself, Road Dogg doesn't like Julia, but at least he's not getting his way so far with Julia.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. No one should be taking advice or ideas from fucking Brian James. No one. But Julia's been on TV consistent as one. She's gotten some shine lately. I'm happy they're doing something with Julia. So, and Kiana James got an upset win. She had a nice 401k. That's that spinning like reverse STO finisher. She did it on Nia Jax. It was a nice 401k finisher from Kiana James on Nia Jax. She did a nice one move on that from Kiana James and Nia Jax. But then Kiana gets a upset win on Alexa Bliss. I mean, and Kiana and Julia winning was the right move, I will say. That was the right call. And now they're going to get Io Sky and Rhea Ripley after Saturday night's main event. Julia and Kiana James versus Io Sky and Rhea Ripley for the women's tag titles. I don't know about you. Call me nuts. I would actually give the women's tag team titles to Julia and Kiana James. Julia has momentum with Kiana. Why not continue it? Give them the tag titles.
I wouldn't hate it.
You have Julia as a double champion. She's a women's tag team champion and a women's U.S. champion. And Julia has gotten some shine lately. It makes sense. And I don't expect Rhea and Io to be champions, women's tag champions going into Mania anyway. And I think the better direction is Rhea and Io at WrestleMania one-on-one than as a tag team. I understand they're best friends real life, but I think there's a better story with them one-on-one against each other at Mania than as a tag team champions going into WrestleMania. That's just how I personally feel.
I mean, anything to elevate Julia.
Yeah.
She has needed something substantial for a long time.
Yeah. I don't expect Rhea and Io to hold those titles long at all. They're not really a tag team.
Yeah.
So I'd say the right move, I would say the right creative move is to put the belts on Julia and Kiana James. I think that's the way to do it. And then have Rhea or Io, after they lose the titles to them, they start tension and not getting along. Then Rhea and Io, one of them turns on each other, and we get Rhea versus Io at WrestleMania. Boom. That's the way to do it. So I'm sure you probably feel the same way. That's how I feel about that. I think it's more pros than cons to have Julia and Kiana take the belts off Rhea and Io than have Io and Rhea retain.
Yeah,
I do. So hopefully that's a direction they go. We'll see. But Kiana James and Julia are your new number one contenders for the women's tag team titles. And then we get the main event, Trick Williams, Damian Priest. This was good. This was decent for what it was. Trick Williams won by DQ after Sami Zayn attacked him. He did come to ringside during the match, and Trick threw Priest into Sami. Sami attacked Trick to ref the call for a DQ. We got a Trick shot on Damian Priest. Or was it or Sami Zayn, I think.
No, Sami Zayn, I think he hit the haluva kick on
Trick when he was
or did he hit no, it was Sami. He hit he got hit by a super kick from Priest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Trick Williams, he hit Damian with the trick shot.
Yeah.
And then as Trick Williams, he celebrated in the middle of the ring, and then before the show went off the air, Randy Orton from out of nowhere hits him with the RKO.
Then Orton and Sami are staring at each other, and then Sami unfortunately trusts the Viper.
Yeah, which was a big mistake.
Never trust the Viper. RKO.
Yeah, Randy Orton, he lays out Sami with the RKO. That's how SmackDown went off the air.
And Orton stood tall at the end of last night's SmackDown. So right then and there, Randy Orton's not winning the Fatal 4-Way. It's better to have Orton in the Rumble to be in the stare down in the Rumble with Cody. I think that's better than Orton challenging Drew for the title at the Rumble. So I don't think Orton wins the Fatal 4-Way. Damian Priest is not winning. We've been there, done that with Priest versus McIntyre. Trick Williams, it's way too soon. You're not going to do Trick and Drew McIntyre now. It's way too early for that. Sami Zayn is I think, wins the Fatal 4-Way tonight. I think he's the right choice to win. And he's beloved, and it's in his hometown, home country in Montreal. He's beloved in Montreal as Sami, it's home country, and he's beloved in Saudi, and Sami Zayn's beloved in Saudi Arabia as well. It makes so much sense for Sami Zayn to win the number one contendership tonight in the Fatal 4-Way and to go on to the Royal Rumble in Saudi to wrestle Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. It makes all the sense in the world, bro.
Yeah.
So Sami wins. I think he pins Trick Williams to win this Fatal 4-Way. And Trick eating the pin in the Fatal 4-Way doesn't hurt Trick Williams at all. And Sami and Trick have been having segments lately, especially the first SmackDown in Buffalo of this new year, 2026. Sami could get some sort of revenge on Trick by pinning Trick Williams in the Fatal 4-Way tonight. It makes sense. So I think Trick Williams eats the pin tonight by Sami Zayn. It should be a good Fatal 4-Way, though. So what do you think on that?
Yeah, I think the 4-Way is going to be good. Trick Williams, he's looked like they booked him well. He has fitted in seamlessly.
The 4 weeks he's been on the main roster, he's done very, very well.
Yeah,
has Trick Williams. Good segment on the first SmackDown of the year. Good segment with Sami Zayn. Can hang on a mic segment with Sami Zayn. Had a good match with Rey Fenix. He had a good match with Matt Cardona. Yeah, had a good match with Matt Cardona in London. Had a good match with Damian Priest. He technically beat. Now, he won by disqualification, but he technically has a win over a former world champion in Damian Priest.
Yeah.
So you could add that to Trick Williams' resume. So
they've booked him well,
very well.
They've protected him well. I think he's gonna have another good showing at Saturday Night's main event tonight.
Absolutely. But Sami Zayn, I think, wins the Fatal 4-Way. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky retain the women's tag team title fight against Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan. And then you got Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu. I think it goes to a draw, and both men destroy each other. It goes to a draw somehow, some way. Then Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles. I think AJ goes over Shinsuke.
I think AJ's gonna win. There was a segment between them on SmackDown. They said Nakamura said one last time.
And AJ Styles was on SmackDown last night, during last night's SmackDown.
Yeah, I think we see Gunther, he comes out after the match. After AJ wins, he confronts AJ.
Probably see that.
That's our predictions for Saturday Night's main event. 4 matches. Yeah.
They could have added a 5th match, but
that's it. It's all right as it is. And all it is, all this is just you're building to the Rumble.
Yeah. I know the Rumble has 4 matches though, but I'm kind of okay with a 4. Now, it should be 5, 6, 7 matches for a for overall, most part PLE, but since it's the Rumble and you're watching for the Rumble matches, I think format for the Rumble card is okay because you're watching mainly for the Rumbles, and both Rumbles will take up an hour of the show.
Yeah, an hour and a half.
It's like the Rumble show is going to be 3 hours, most likely than not. So in both Rumble matches,
3 hour show, 3.5 hours, and then an hour each is going to be taken up by the Rumble matches.
So that's 2 hours out of 3. They have an hour left, so that's 2 matches. I think that's fine. I don't.
Maybe you book you have a WWE Championship match.
Yep.
And AJ and Gunther.
Yeah. I don't think you need to add more to the card. I don't.
Yeah. It's fun as it is.
Yeah, I would not add any more to the Royal Rumble match card and then they're in Saudi, but I would not add more to the card. That's just me. But that that is all that for episode 9 of the Forbidden Podcast via FioriousNation and via YouTube. And going, oh wow, 3 hours 50 minutes of this show, man.
Yeah, it's almost 4 hours.
Holy shit, dude. Crazy.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys showing up here for the live stream here for episode 9 of Forbidden Podcast. I am Nick Fiore of FioriousNation, Adam Carl of Forbidden Podcast as well. Follow me on X FioriNick579, Instagram Nicholas Fiore 2014. Nicholas Fiore 2014 on Instagram. Sorry, it's my phone, so ignore that. Instagram Nicholas Fiore 2014, FioriNick579 on X. Nicholas Peer Fiore, Peer 31 Facebook, and TikTok, FioriousNation. Go follow Adam Carl on X, TikTok, Instagram as well, and such. Hit the like on the video and subscribe to FioriousNation, especially if you're new here watching FioriousNation for the first time. And hit the bell for all notifications as well whenever you're notified when we go live here on YouTube, especially this guy right here and this guy. So we appreciate all you guys showing up here. You guys are awesome. Be safe in the snow with tomorrow. Be safe, be warm. Hopefully tonight's a good show. It's Saturday night's main event. It should be a good show. Hopefully the Rumble next week, a week from today, is a good show. The lackluster build is there. Hopefully they deliver with the Rumble. And hopefully it's better than the War Games Survivor Series in November last year, because that show was not good. Hopefully the Rumble next week is better, and stuff like that. And Adam Carl, any parting words before we get the hell out of here?
Stay safe, everyone. Everybody's affected in the U.S., the winter storm. Stay safe, stay strong.
Yep.
And have a good day. You're never alone.
Nope.
You got people that love you.
Yeah.
Look out for them. Look out for yourself.
Absolutely. And you'll be seeing us next week, episode 10 Forbidden Podcast, regular time though, back to 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. next week for episode 10. We'll talk about the Rumble, most likely like a Royal Rumble post show, talk about what happened with the Rumble, give our thoughts on the show. that will most likely be for episode that will be for episode 10 for next week, 8 p.m/8:30 p.m. in a week, next Saturday night, week from today. So look out for that, and have a good rest of your day, guys. And be warned, be safe with the snowstorm coming tomorrow. We appreciate every single one of you, and have a good rest of your day, guys. We will see you here next Saturday night for episode 10 of the Forbidden Podcast. Take care, all of you guys, and we will see you next Saturday night for episode 10 of Forbidden Podcast, the review and post show thoughts of the 2026 Royal Rumble. Talk to you guys later, guys. Peace.